Nerd culture rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd culture rise up. It could get elevated.
Welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we're two 30 to 40 something year olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And if you guys want to hang out with us live and in person, follow us on Twitch. Chris over there, Guyver Unit 01, Guyver Unt 01. I'm also on Twitch. Not as often now. Neither one of us are. We're kind of slacking a little bit, but we'll get back in it. I'm K-Sig on Twitch, K_SIG. We try to stream every Friday and Saturday night. The links to the channels are down in the show notes below us. Below. And also, if that's not your thing, join the Discord. We got a Discord server. There's all kinds of conversation going on, from everything from movies to comics to beer and ball sports and fantasy ball sports and video games and just whatever. It's all there. Join. One of us.
One of us.
One of us.
One of us.
It's a good time, and it's free.
And it's
Don't be-
free.
don't
It
be
costs you
scared of it.
nothing.
Yeah. Come join the community. Bunch of cool people in there hanging out in BRob. And so check it out.
And BRob. Speaking of BRob,
Mhm.
we have two guests with us today. One who's, I guess, being fashionably late. The other who is prompt and on time, and a way better friend
Uh-huh. He
because
is.
he's on time.
Yep.
Way less
Uh,
fashionable.
And welcome back, BRob.
Mhm.
Good friend of our show, listener. BRob is one of our knowledge gurus for a lot of different Marvel events, a lot of nerd stuff. We lean on him heavily. He's just super busy with both his kids and work and, basically real life. So he's not on as often as we'd like him to be, but
Yeah. And for you guys
welcome back, BRob.
that are just listening, he's actually live and on location in Cloud City right now. I don't know if you can tell, but
Oh, city.
They're redoing it.
Yep.
He's there for
But
safety reasons.
I'd much
They're putting-
rather be there than where I'm actually at in Houston, where it is extremely hot. So,
Ugh, it's hot here, so I can only imagine Houston right now.
mhm.
Did you at least get to fly, or did you have to drive?
no, I flew. Yeah, I'm here till I flew in Monday morning and I fly out Friday night. So
Ugh.
the full week of training. So it's awesome.
Awesome.
I didn't hear the sarcasm there.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Not
I
a
wasn't
bit.
giving any.
Oh,
I'm glad
good.
you didn't pick it up.
You didn't put it
Justin
down,
will,
so we can't pick it up.
Good.
Dropped it.
Justin will be here. Dr. Justin will be here a little later. He's old people sitting.
He's scared.
He's scared.
It's like it's
He's
almost
scared to look me
7:30
in the eye.
I think
p.m.
he
So
is.
he's
And
probably
say
having
the-
breakfast.
The horrible things that he says to me in the Discord.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't in the Discord,
Hold on, I'm leaning back for this, getting comfy.
there is a small little war going on, and I am enjoying the hell out of it. So we're doing the Steven Tyler EGTN Steven Tyler English Fantasy Football League, and I think the two people that are the most vested in this are Justin and BRob, and Jesse's actually getting in there too. He's the new
Mhm.
guy,
Yeah.
the one who's been talking shit the whole time.
Hughes likes to run his mouth a little bit, so I got something for him too.
Jesse, okay. Jesse does not like to run his mouth a little bit. So just get ready once he starts winning.
If
If he starts winning.
You can prevent that by beating him.
Yeah, only you can prevent Jesse wins.
the biggest travesty in your show's history was me not being able to be on that podcast for the draft, and the most interesting thing happening was learning about the African bird.
We do
Everybody-
need to make this longer next year.
I thought it was of adequate. I Googled it. It was average. It was perfectly sustainable length of a show. So
It was great. It was a great show, and I
Mhm.
knew with every pick I made, what is Justin going to say?
Yeah.
And I knew if I wasn't driving, I would have took a shot every time he said that dreaded word about the bandwagon team that I hope turns over every week and who is running off to another conference because they're scared.
I would say just
Bang,
wait till we
bang.
go to the SEC. Just
Mhm.
wait.
All about the money.
It is.
he
That's
was
all it
talking a
is.
lot of crap. like rapid fire. Just like he
Rightfully
would just
so. I would have been talking it.
sniper it in there.
I
he
mean-
does know his shit though.
He does. I mean,
Mhm.
but I
He
think
does
it
know
says a
his shit.
lot. His
Yeah.
team name's the Gotham Crying Orphan or whatever, and my team's Break the Bat with a picture
Yep.
of Bane.
Yep,
So,
which is amazing.
Mhm.
so.
Well, we got to get
Um,
all the praise out before he actually
I
gets on the
will.
show.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, look who's coming in.
All right, no,
Wait,
no
hold
more
on,
talking
hold
good
on.
about him because
No,
he's
no,
here
no,
now.
just keep talking.
Okay.
And then
When's the last
Um,
time somebody used the word good and Justin in a sentence other than
it hasn't been very often at all. Like, in fact, it's far and few between.
With that particular Justin, or like any Justin, because Timberlake's pretty cool.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, he is really cool.
I don't know,
enjoyed
but
it.
Jessica Biel feels differently.
Well, that is true too. And I mean,
And the other
Justin
member,
has,
the other
went-
more talented members of NSYNC.
and that is how a bill becomes law.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind finding out how Jessica Biel feels. So
Yes, that is how
Being
a bill
sympathetic.
becomes law. Oh, Justin. Hi, Justin.
hey,
Hello. What's up?
what's up,
We
baby
weren't just
beard?
talking. There wasn't just shit being talked about on the back and forth about the fantasy football at all. We were
Oh.
talking about how a bill became law.
Oh,
Mhm.
good. That's so much more interesting than fantasy football, at least my team. So, it's only 1 week. Only 1 week.
You're 2-0. How can you be mad?
No, I'm 1-1. I
Oh, I
lost.
thought you were 2-0.
No, I lost this last week. So it was a crazy week of injuries and weird scores and everything. So I'm just chalking it up to that's why I don't bet on football, is because crazy stuff like that happens every week. So
Well,
anyway.
and then, like I said, no, BRob was just saying how much of a travesty it was that he wasn't on the football episode.
Agreed. I agree.
I know you got in my head. Every pick I made, I was like, what is Justin going to say?
He was driving and he was just paranoid the whole time. He kept looking over his
I
shoulder.
know.
He's watching.
Between listening to you yell that dreaded 6-letter word or 7-letter word, I don't know. And then a deer in Louisiana, I didn't know what the hell which way to look.
Potatoes?
Cowboys. It's a bad word. Every time I'd say Cowboys, he'd hate it.
Ah, COWBO.
They- Dallas
Okay, yeah,
does
you're
that.
right. That it adds up. Math checks out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
well, we are talking about today. Well, introduction. Dr. Justin's with us. Thank you, Dr. Justin.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Justin.
Good news. He bought suppositories. So yeah, what are we talking about
Prepared.
today? We are talking about all the announcements they had at D23. D23, of course, is Disney's premier event that they hold every year where they do all their big announcements for the upcoming year.
Mhm.
Or 2 or 3 now. Instead of just the year, it could be future.
There was so much stuff.
There was so much.
We're
good
probably
stuff.
not going to be able to touch it all.
No, we're not.
But we're going to try.
I guarantee we'll do a better job than Jordan Fisher and Ashley Eckstein did on the 2 little snippets they did. What were they, 30-minute episodes on Disney Plus? Those were awful.
Those were
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
Disney should hire us, all 4 of us, right now.
Because we could bring chassis.
We would bring our own chassis. Chris has his on standby, ready to go. Mine's out in the truck. I got a truck bottle ready. You never know. It's really hard to apply going down the interstate, but
Or
It's
in the
still
middle
handy
of
to have.
class when you're teaching. I don't recommend that.
I got a disc.
That's the best time to do it. You've got
We do have some chassis believers now, though. Although
the audience just watching you, that's the best time to do it.
it
Look me
is.
in the eye. Look me in the eye.
No, not anymore. I
Oh, there
will
you
tell
go.
you,
Maybe on the
Mr.
college level,
Hughes, Justin. I asked him about it because he was one of the winners. He goes, "Oh, I couldn't tell the difference."
Ah,
I'm like, "You non-sweaty bitch."
yeah,
See if we give him anything again.
that's what he gets for working in a pharmacy every day.
Yeah,
So he needs a real man's job.
he's got access
Yeah.
to the prescription stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
He
he's got powder in there. It's got a 7-day waiting period, and you're going to
Viagra doesn't make you sweat, right?
Mm.
Ooh.
Oh, look on the bottle. Ask Hughes.
Ask Hughes.
hmm
So we're talking about D23.
Yeah, wrong D. Okay,
Wrong D.
It's never the wrong D.
So let's start off by the first one on the list. Muppets Mayhem in 2023 series focused on the Electric Mayhem band and their first ever studio album. I am pumped for this one. We know I'm a Muppets fan to begin with, and I think that this is going to be such an interesting take on the Muppets because we've never seen something like this before.
We get a full Electric Mayhem like show. So yeah, was this Dr. Teeth?
Dr. Teeth.
Animal.
Janice.
What's that? Janice.
Janice.
Yep, Janice. Floyd, who was based off of anyone? John
Pink
Lennon.
Floyd.
Based off of John Lennon
okay.
from the Sgt. Pepper album.
Okay, I can see that. And then
My favorite animal.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an echo?
Yeah.
Great.
Echo. Talk about that later.
That's what I worry. Is it going to be like just totally about animal?
I hope not. I like me some Dr. Teeth. Set you up there.
Well, that's not on your dating profile.
I like teeth.
Have they released or said how many songs are going to be on the studio album? Because it'd be cool if it was a full album instead of like an EP with like 4 songs. But I've read and I haven't seen anything that confirms how many songs, new songs they're actually releasing.
I haven't seen it.
There's one song that's already out called Can You Picture That I have not listened to yet, but I probably should. Yeah, they got one out, and then I guess there'll be more later.
I don't know. Yeah, so Floyd's full name is Floyd Pepper, if that tells you anything.
That makes sense.
Then you've got Zoot. You have Zoot's the saxophone player.
Yep.
And then you've got Lips. Lips plays the trumpet. I would say Lips is probably the more littler known one.
Yeah, Zoot's got a cool look to him. He's like a blue Weird Al.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that too. I don't know. I am just really pumped because, like I said, I love Muppets, and I think this would be an interesting take on this, especially if they do it like documentary style, like a behind the music. I think that would be really interesting.
I hope Grover is in it, just running like a boom mic back and forth. Like he just comes running up near 4 near 4.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if it was like, this is Spinal Tap meets. Like if it was that, like it'd be my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'd be all about that.
11. 1. Ooh.
The count is just running the
The fader. They would never record ever.
11.
You're at 50 minutes.
Oh god. Okay, so we got through one show that's on the list. There's so many. There's like, I think that there's close to probably 40 on this list that
we won't get through them all, but we'll at least mention them.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one. ABC, American Born Chinese, based off of the graphic novel. It was I think it's a regular young adult novel first, then it became a graphic novel. It's about an Asian kid who gets caught up with the Chinese mythology, the gods, like a war between the gods, which I think is great. And the cast looks amazing for this.
Anything Michelle Yeoh, I'm all for.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Who else was in it? It was, because it's a mini series, isn't it?
Yeah, in the resurgence of oh shoot, what was his name in
Short Round.
Jones?
Short Round.
Yeah,
Yep,
Short Round.
Short Round. Thank you. So the resurgence of
Kwan
is continuing because not only is he in this, he's going to be in the new Indiana Jones as well.
And
the Star Wars. No, okay. What's the other one?
Loki season 2. He's playing an agent.
Yeah.
Apparently a pretty big one. Yeah, it's a Disney Plus original series, but yeah, Michelle Yeoh can do no wrong. I'm excited about that one. That's a book I've had on my list that I wanted to read, just never gotten there yet. Have any of you guys read that book yet?
I have not.
I haven't.
I was just looking it up, so I didn't feel totally lost.
Yeah, I typically don't do YA, even though I love YA young adult novels. But typically I don't teach YA. So
Thank you for specifying.
well, the listeners may not know what YA is.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's not just you three I'm talking to, jerks.
There's
So,
two
yeah.
other people listening, probably.
I think this highlights one of the most important things I saw as I was going through and reading casts and everything is the diversity that they're really shooting for. And we'll probably talk about this when we get to a certain other remake that's coming out here soon. But I'm so impressed with how Disney is not just keeping it, the same, but having American Born Chinese as its own series and having several of these others that are its own series, but then also specifically who they're casting in these, you can tell that they're taking a really careful look at not only the type of programming that they have, but who they're putting in their program, which is awesome. I love the direction they're going.
Well,
This is one I know nothing about, so it's really the cast that's really going to make me watch it, and I'm so excited because Short Round, Data, I mean, those are two of my all-time favorite characters, and I really, am a huge fan of his. I was lucky enough to meet him at a Comic-Con one time, so just a really,
so awesome.
I'm really excited for it. So,
Well, they have Justin. I think you called it best on one of your posts. Representation matters. It's what you put on Facebook last week, I think, and I completely agree with that. I think it's phenomenal. What I'm really excited about is they've announced two of the gods in the cast already. One is Sung Wukong, who Goku's based off of in Dragon Ball Z or the Monkey King, which I love Sung Wukong anyway. And I think it was Wei Chen. Yeah, Wei Chen. You guys don't. He's known as the backdoor god.
I thought that was Kyle's.
That was also Kyle's nickname.
Okay.
In college, but he
Better believe it.
He's the god of domestic protection. He's supposed to be guarding your house, stuff like that. Because the Oriental cultures have gods for everything, like the god of lemon drops, and Jeff the god of biscuits, stuff like that.
Orville, the god of popcorn.
Yeah, Orville, the god of popcorn. So I'm really excited about that one. I think that one has that one's going to hit home for me, being Chinese American. I think it's really cool. We're finally getting some representation. Next up, this is one. Where are we right now?
We're on Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
BRob, why don't you start off with this one? Because I know you and I have talked about this one.
I am so excited. This is probably in the top 5 of the things I'm most excited for that came out of D23. Somebody's finally going to freaking do this right. I am such a fan of the books. I do go YA. I know Justin doesn't. That's just one of the many things we differ on. So, but that started out as just like a challenge to one of my nephews to get him to read more. But Rick Riordan, I always butcher his name, but he does such an amazing job in those books. And that series can go so many places. And I'm just very excited that they're going to do a younger cast. I really hope some of they brings back some of the original actors in different roles.
Yep.
Especially Alexandra Daddario. But no, I'm really excited. It's such a great series. I think they brought a great Percy. Some of the other castings were I don't know much about them, so they're a little more interesting to me when I think there were some other choices out there. But I don't get paid the big bucks to Monday morning quarterback when I can't even coach a winning fantasy football team. So
look at that.
So BRob, let me ask you this: since you're a fan, are you happy, excited, however you want to say it, about it being a series and not just a movie, or would you prefer it to be more of a movie style?
I think anytime there's a book series that is so big, I think it's always better to do a series to really be able to get into characters, to get into what Percy's feeling because he doesn't know who his dad is, and how Grover's feeling because he's always, he's playing, second fiddle to Percy, or, then you put Annabeth in, and the huge dynamic with the other gods, and, they're essentially all family, and just everything that plays into that. And one of my favorite characters, Clarissa LaRue, really getting to dive into who these characters are and push and give these actors a chance to really put their stamp on something. So definitely in the series.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. What I'm excited about with this is I'm with BRob. I love these books. Like, I ate these books up as soon as they came out. I've reread them. Disappointed by the movies. It was cool when they came out just because, you get to see the books that you love on the big screen, but it didn't do them justice.
Is this coming out as like a full reboot, a soft reboot, a continuation?
It's a complete reboot.
Okay.
It's the movies don't exist at this point, according to this.
Okay.
So
get behind that.
And these actors are of an age that they could truly grow with the series, where if they tried to do anything with that cast now, it's unrealistic.
So they're kind of taking the Harry Potter approach to planning it out, getting the appropriate age, or maybe even a little bit younger, so they don't age out through the course of the story. Well,
and I'm hoping that this leads into that the series is such a success, like maybe we can pick up some of his other books, because like the Kane Chronicles, I love that one. That's the Egyptian Chronicles, and there was a crossover at one point in one of the books.
Yeah, the Son of Sobek, I think. Was it?
Yep. I think that was it. But that's all about the Egyptian culture, and that one was just so fun. And so I'm hoping that they can just bring all this, it blends. I love mythology anyway, modern with the old, the new.
Well, and even the heroes of Olympus, because then it brings in the Roman side of it. So it's just everything he does is just
gold.
Yeah.
Like Midas.
And
So.
And the Magnus Chase series, where it brings in the North. I mean, Kyle, you'd love that because it's all
you would like that one.
Would.
So
put that on the list that I might never get to, but I can.
Yeah,
sure as hell try.
Justin, do you know anything about these books?
I was actually looking. I think I have several of them in my library, but it's just not something. It's not something I gravitate to, though. But I very much appreciate. I know of them and very much appreciate their place within the literary world and all of that. So everything BRob's saying, totally. I've seen, I've heard, and there's a lot of excitement around it because there's a lot of fans. Just like the Hunger Games, just like the Harry Potter series, there's a lot of interest because they're written so well, and as you point out, there's so many different facets that people have an inroad to get into that I think it's smart for them to, for the mouse to buy up all of these properties and honestly do it right. I'm okay with the mouse buying Star Wars, Marvel, all of that if they do it right. And so far, I mean, I haven't seen anything to show that they're going to do Percy Jackson wrong. And so I think it's going to be really fun to watch.
Which is why I'm really pumped for, which is coming up on the list, Andor, which started today.
Andor what?
Andor, you're going to the mall later is what I was asking.
Okay. This Andor that.
The Proud Family season 2. I never really watched The Proud Family. That came out when I got a little bit older. I think we were all in about college when that came out. Yeah. Except for Kyle, he was still in preschool.
I was in year 6.
But I think it's a little weird that they're picking up 20 years later, however long it is, because is the show still relevant now? But is it great that there's representation? Because this was one of the early shows that showed a strong Black family that was together. That wasn't like, we live in the hood where it's gang banging.
It wasn't Bebe's kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's already been one season of this iteration of the Proud Family. It came out like last February. or early last year.
So-
So this is the second season.
on that one.
39.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So good point. I don't know. It's just I think like Justin said, representation matters. And so apparently it's doing well enough, hitting well enough that it's good enough for season 2.
Mhm.
So has any of you watched it? I think I already know the answer.
Nope.
No, and representation does matter, but I think you have to hang your hat on something that is going to reach more. And that's just not one that I feel like, I mean, like you said, maybe it is because it's hitting a season 2, but I feel like there are other shows that could have reached more people.
I think go ahead.
Okay.
I think that they could have done something like, just my opinion, like an animated Wakanda series, like Tales from Wakanda. Because that's so relevant right now with it's this generation. And just think how cool it would be. Like go through like different people's lives in Wakanda. Like in Avatar, the cabbage vendor, how he had kind of his day. You could do just stuff like that, people of Wakanda. I think that would be interesting.
I would watch that like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so not the demographic for this. New season of Rick and Morty, cool. I've already caught up in all of that, but this is just not mine. So that's why I'm like sitting back, just listening to you talk about it.
We're not gonna bash it, but at the same time, it's it doesn't appeal to us, I think, as 40-something-year-old men.
Sure.
So
I mean,
although we were
I
just
still may give it a fair shot though, just to see.
I mean that
I'm
we're
curious.
we're not telling anyone not to.
If it got a second season, I may go back and watch season 1 just to.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, I'll report
You know
back
what's
later.
got multiple seasons that you haven't fully watched yet? The Clone Wars. So why don't you
Clone
do
Wars,
that?
Clone Wars, One Piece. What else? Let's throw it all in there.
Well, Clone Wars first, because then Bad Batch will make a lot more sense.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Clone Wars, it goes really quickly. It goes.
After you get to season 2 halfway through, it flies.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're going to want to watch that before the new series comes out. But I'm sure we're going to talk about here in a minute. So I won't.
Yep. So next up, National Treasure Series. Kyle put the show nobody asked for, but we're getting anyway.
That's what I was thinking too.
You know what? I'd watch it. I probably will watch it.
You know what? There's no Nick Cage. I'm good.
Oh, did he end up not making it? Never mind. I'm out.
We've had
this
Riley
conversation, haven't we?
His name?
I haven't seen it. I saw that Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it, but I haven't seen the full list of the cast. But all I was looking for was give me more Nick Cage. I always want more Nick Cage. Oh, no Nick Cage. I'm good.
Yeah.
Especially
I'm
they're
with you.
releasing 70 shows all at the same time. Okay, I don't have to watch that one necessarily. I'll go over to these other 15 that I like.
Yeah,
I'll still give it a shot. Give it a shot.
No, you're excited about this next one.
Oh, and I think the Justin and BRob are too. Devil Dinosaur or Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which we talked about in an earlier podcast too. That show, like the animation style is so unique on it. I think it's going to be so much fun. The series, the story, the premise is so unique in it. I just think it's going to be just going to be a really good one. It's going to be one of those sleeper ones because not a lot of people know about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
I'm kind of watching the little trailer right now, and I like the style of it. It's giving me like a little bit. Well, no, now it doesn't. I was like, there was a little bit of like Dexter's Laboratory vibes.
Yep.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
But
there's
then
a lot
then it
going
kind of
on.
shifts away. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
there's a lot going on in it, but I am really excited about that one. Justin, BRob, did you guys ever read that?
Yes. Yeah. I'm hoping that they do their own thing, of course, but they still kind of keep the spirit of Jack Kirby.
Mhm.
If they're able to nail that, I think this is going to be, like you said, a sleeper. It's going to be one of those that people are going to look back and go, "Oh, I didn't think that was going to be that good," but man, and I think it, especially with having Moon Girl in there too, I think it's going to relate, and with the animation, it's going to relate to a younger, different audience.
Yeah.
That's going to expose these characters and really help them to grow within the MCU or whatever universe they are part of
Right.
with this cartoon. But I think it's going to be great. Like I will watch any and all of it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
BRob, I think the kids will really enjoy this one.
Yeah, this isn't one that I really know a whole lot about, but I did get excited hearing you guys talk so highly of it on that other one. So I'm definitely ready to watch it. And the fact that Lawrence Fishburne produced it as well as his voice in the Beyonder, I think is going to be really cool. So I'm all in on it. Although I really don't know anything about it. So
I think it's gonna be a good ride.
Yeah.
This one already came out. Zombies 3.
Mm-hmm. So their announcement that they had out there, when did it come out? Like the last couple of days?
Zombies 3 has been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been
Why
out
did they
like
have
for
it
a month.
listed? Oh, okay. Then why? Okay, well, I was just bringing that up on there because I know, like, I've caught bits and pieces of it because my daughter loves it.
My girls loved it.
I couldn't get into it. I
So-
tried. It's like Glee with zombies. I don't know what's going on.
It's a zombie musical, zombie love story
Yeah.
musical.
And I love all things zombie. I could. Rob.
No. The songs just get into your head, and don't get me
They are
wrong,
catchy.
I'm a big Meg Donnelly. Can't remember his name. I know his mom's name, but anyway, they're good. The third one's better than the second one. The first one's still the best. I've
Mhm.
watched them all multiple times. There are definitely a lot worse things out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I enjoyed them. I'm a big musical guy, so.
So give me
But it's just-
the premise of it, because it is definitely not on my radar. So
Oh.
it's in high school and like zombies.
So basically,
high school.
back in the first movie, there was a nuclear accident. It turned half the town into zombies, and they have to wear special bands to keep them in check so they don't go crazy and eat everybody's brains. So it's kind of segregated. Half the town's normal, half the town's zombies.
It
And
makes
then the
them
zombies get to go
intelligent
to-
too.
Yeah, then the zombies they have normal jobs, they have a school, then they combine the high school. And
Think of
they
the
have to learn how to
segregated South.
coexist.
I was gonna say there's a lot of analogies you can easily put to that,
Right.
which already piques my interest.
Right. And then Zombies 2 introduced werewolves into it.
Mhm.
And then Zombies 3 had werewolves, zombies, and then now aliens.
Aliens.
So
But yeah, it's think of
they all
Romeo
go to
and
the prom?
Juliet.
it's called prawn
Yeah.
because their
It
mascot
is actually called the prom.
No, prawn, PRAWN, because their mascot's the mighty shrimp.
Oh, okay.
So the songs are really addictive. They are super addictive, and it's actually a good watch. The first one was the best one. I will tell you that because we had it on constantly around here. But it's Segregated South meets Romeo and Juliet meets sci-fi
Okay.
is what it is.
With songs.
With songs. Oh, and meets Monday Night Football.
Yeah. And hardcore fucking.
Oh, and that would make it even better. Oh, meets Bring It On too.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little high school
It's
musical
already
thrown
been
in.
brought, Chris.
It's already been brought-id. But yeah, so I'm pumped about this one too.
Okay.
Star
Wars,
Wars
yep.
Young Jedi Adventures. And go.
Okay, so what I've gathered from this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, looks like it's geared more towards like the little ones from what I've seen. Like as far as the style and stuff. So maybe like our smallest ones is ages, that maybe get into it a little bit more. I thought I saw something with some of the animation style on it, but it is set during the High Republic era. I'm done with words.
Okay, it's focused. It's really short episodes. It's like what was the one with the girls? The forest, like the little 2-minute ones. Like with Rey, and then it would have Leia.
Oh,
and Sabine, yeah.
What was that called?
But like the Groot, that's the latest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
3 minutes,
this,
4 minutes.
the Young Jedi Adventures, is geared exactly like those. It's geared for preschoolers. It's an introduction to Star Wars for preschoolers. And that's why, based off of research, the episodes are as long as they are, because that's how long you're going to keep a preschooler's attention for.
They're doing the whole short format,
100%.
TikTok, YouTube short style, quick attention grab, move on to the next thing.
But it shows like a young Count Dooku in there.
That'd be cool.
A young Mace Windu.
Hope he
Can
gets
you
done.
imagine? And this won't be the last thing I say that's semi-negative. How good this type of series would be if it was about Jason, Jaina, Ben Skywalker.
You mean the
Chewbacca.
Original Young Jedi Academy stuff?
How it was supposed to go before they invented Rey and Finn and everybody else.
The legend. What do they call them now? Legends. The Legends series.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
that's
think
it. That's right where my mind went when I heard about this series. Is how awesome that could have been.
I'm still holding out that they're going to do a Disney Plus shows on that, like live action. It's not going to happen, but I'm going to hold out for it.
I'm excited for the Young Jedi Adventures, the series finale. Whenever they finally get to meet Anakin Skywalker, they're going to be so excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shocker.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
But it's definitely going to be the series finale.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fire.
And
And then at the end of the series,
mm-hmm.
what was the next one?
So we're moving on into Spooky Time, Pumpkin Spice Land.
Spooky
With
Time, Pumpkin Spice Land.
Hocus Pocus 2.
Ooh.
Yes, I am super excited about this just because I loved Hocus Pocus. I love how they have all the Sanderson sisters back. Have you all read? Have they had anything else like from the original cast, or is that just those three?
Billy's the only one.
Okay, Billy's the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one coming back because they didn't get Max, Danny, or can't remember the girlfriend's name.
Allison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of a disappointment to me.
Yeah.
But I am really excited about this because I love Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, because like 2 years ago they did that big like reunion kind of thing, like a big concert and everything that Jordan Fisher I think hosted. It had all of the cast there, and they all seemed very geared toward doing something like this. So I'm really interested to know why like Thor Birch and the rest of them didn't. Maybe they just didn't get asked. I don't know, but I think I'm super pumped for it.
I am too.
It's always money.
We'll go on. Justin, I mean, do you have anything to add to that, or just yay?
Yay, I've never seen Hocus Pocus, so I know I'm a bad person. Everyone loves it. It's such a classic, and I've just never been like, hey, let's sit down and watch Hocus Pocus. So I will for sure before the second one comes out, because I need to know what all of the hubbub is.
You're probably fine.
Yeah. So, me and Kyle, me and the Backdoor God will get together and we'll watch it.
Watch a little Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Let's rewind real quick.
You're gonna Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
with himself.
We're going to Disney Plus and wait. Never mind.
Plus and Pulse. So let's rewind real quick. One we forgot to mention that I was actually kind of excited about, a Disney Plus TV show, The Santa Clauses. I know the Santa Claus is mixed with a lot of people. There's no in between. You either like them or you hate them. I've never heard anyone say, "Eh, they're okay."
I was going to say they're not bad.
Yeah, I like them.
I don't
really
love
like
them. I don't hate them.
But they're doing a TV show and Cal Penn's in it. And they're releasing the first two in November 16th, and then an episode a week after that. Thoughts? Not everyone at once.
I'll watch it.
I don't understand how people could not like them. I guess I'm such a hardcore fan because that's the original is in my top 3 of all time Christmas movies, and I'm a huge Christmas
The original, yeah.
Christmas movie guy. Yeah, granted they get bad, or they get worse as it went on, but I mean, I still think they're all definitely more watchable than some, and I'm really excited that they're bringing back Bernard, the character, to be in the series. So
Polka Dot Man.
Yep.
I just hope his mom's in there.
What I was impressed looking through the list was, and I'll watch the Santa Clauses for sure.
Yeah.
But I was impressed that I think Disney Plus is going to be on nonstop during the Christmas season in my household, because there's so much Christmas content that's going to be coming out. And a lot of it is not just Star Wars or Marvel, or a lot of it has nothing to do with any of those properties. And so I think it's going to have a pretty wide appeal. Everything from the Pentatonics to, I think they're doing something with a Nutcracker.
There's like a hip hop Nutcracker.
The hip hop version.
With Run DMC.
Yes.
Oh, I will watch the shit out of that.
Oh, I know. That when I saw Run DMC, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm watching that. And so I think the Christmas season is going to be one of the best as far as content, just on Disney Plus alone. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see all this.
Oh, I agree. What was the one with Anna Kendrick a couple years ago? Noelle. Like, I have yet to watch that one, but I've heard it's great.
It's good. She can do no wrong.
Noelle. I will tell you, if during this Nutcracker Run DMC, if Christmas in Hollis is not played, I will be sorely disappointed. And they bring back that one little elf in the video. Like, I'm gonna be disappointed. Kyle, an elf is who lives with Santa.
Oh, okay. I never got presents. So
Santa is a guy with a better beard than you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue that. I'm gonna eat my popcorn.
Next, I'm actually kind of excited about this one too. Live action Peter Pan and Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always apprehensive when they do live action of the beloved animated classics that we love so much, because for me, I have such a high expectation.
So that's an argument that I had with Kat the other night. What's one that they did wrong in your mind? Because Kat's had the similar thing. Is they're just not always that good. I was like, well, which one was bad?
Well, and see, it's to me, they haven't been bad, but it's just that apprehension that I have, because I have this perfect ideal of my childhood watching these movies and good memories associated with them. I'm just afraid that someone is gonna mess something up live action, and it's not gonna translate well. That's just like one of those fears for me. I had that fear with Lady and the Tramp, and I ended up really liking it. So
I thought Dumbo was fine. Pinocchio was fine. And so I think that's my fear, is that it's just going to continue to be, it's fine.
It's fine.
Instead of like, wow, that was really good. I kind of felt the same way with The Lion King. I was like, oh, this was my favorite. And Aladdin actually was my favorite growing up. And watching that, I was like, it was fine.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
I actually enjoyed it.
I wanted it so, and it's not fair. It's not fair to have such high expectations, and we do the same thing with Star Wars and Marvel and DC and everything else. You have such high expectations. It's almost impossible to meet those expectations. But yeah, I can't think of one where I was just like, oh God, that was a turd burger. That all of the remakes, they've put some care into it and done that. Now with like the Maleficent, where they've tried to retell something, that's where I think they've gotten a little awry in some areas. But yeah, I think the remakes have been pretty solid all the way, starting with, what was it, Cinderella?
Right.
Cinderella was good.
I had Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan. I really liked Mulan. But there are a couple that I thought, oh wow,
how much of it is because like the music, even in Aladdin, and I think Aladdin to me is the one where the music was better than the animated. I think that's the only one for me that I think was as good or better than the animated. I didn't feel like Beauty and the Beast. I didn't feel like the live action Beauty and the Beast was better than Paige O'Hara. you know, there was no music in Mulan, but it didn't need to be because of the story it was telling. But like Dumbo, you know, there was a lot of, you know, Baby of Mine was on there, but that was really it. So how much of that do you think plays into what we're so used to and what we attribute to being just the amazing memories of our childhood and sitting there singing along with, you know, with those songs?
That's a
think a
great
lot.
point.
I think
I think that's most of it. Yeah.
because we watched those movies for the most part when we were young kids, and like music appeals to young kids. That's how you may not remember everything that happened in the movie, but we had those songs marketed to us to death as kids, not just from the movie. You know, we were hearing them everywhere because they wanted to sell toys. So however you can keep that in a little kid's head, it works, obviously, because we're still talking about the songs 30 years later.
So in your mind, which is your least favorite live action?
My least favorite live action, the only one that I've watched through to the end, it's still the whole thing of starting them and then never finishing things. May have been, I think it was Dumbo was the last one that I watched all the way through the end, so I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. I will watch Pan and Wendy though, because I love the Peter Pan story. And not to veer off from your question, but to go off onto this with our concerns about things going to live action, there's been tons of live action Peter Pan through the years. And not just like Disney Peter Pan. What was the it just started playing on Netflix again.
Hook.
Well, we had Hook.
Pan. The Peter Pan one, there was one, which one was it? I can't remember who was but I really like that one from the 2000s, early 2000s. It was it just Pan? Okay, Pan was the one that I'm thinking of that's showing on Netflix again right now. That was a little different. Not that one. Yeah, that one was like the retelling. It was called, maybe it was just called Peter Pan. Peter Pan. So I do love Peter Pan stories. Peter Pan, there we go. It was from, the one I really liked was from, who's in it? PJ Hogan was the director. What year was it? That's the one I'm thinking about. And so, I mean, here's something we kind of 2003. It was from 2003. So there's been 1, 2, 3. There's Finding Neverland. We'll count that 4, 5.
I did like that.
I'm putting the link in the chat for you guys so you can see the one I'm talking about. So there's been several live action Peter Pan movies, and you know, you've got stage shows and all that. So I think where this could run the risk is not being good or bad, just kind of being lost in the mix. You know what I mean? It's we got another Peter Pan and Wendy movie, and just how it's done. Hook is still my favorite Peter Pan movie by far. Roofy. Oh, Bangarang. Play. Yeah. Oh, there you are, Peter. Chris says that every morning. So I'm just happy I can see him. Do you guys think that with Disney now owning, you know, like everything, especially all the 20th Century Fox stuff and the rights to like these rated R, going into like Deadpool rated R territory, Punisher, Daredevil, that kind of stuff. Do you think they would ever greenlight a true to form Peter Pan movie? What I mean by that is, if you look at the real history and story of Peter Pan, it is dark as shit. Like when the Lost Boys got too old, they would run away, but in fact, Peter would brutally murder them. It's brutal. Like the real Peter Pan story is brutal. So do you think Disney would ever greenlight that? The reason I bring this up is because, you know, Winnie the Pooh just lost its copyright license. It's been 100 years. And now we're getting Blood and Honey. Which, oh God, I want to watch that so bad. I do too, but I'm torn because Winnie the Pooh is like my favorite Disney property. Do you think that we'll ever get anything along that line? Disney would ever greenlight that just to get, because we know the mouse likes the bug.
They won't face the backlash.
Yeah, I don't think they will, because if you look at some of their other stories, so you look at Cinderella, you look at Snow White, you look at several of these other stories that they've adapted to make into these, Princess Disney movies. The originals are dark and is not something you want to tell your kids, at least unless you want them to not sleep. And so I think if they would have done something like that, they would have already done it, because they have all those properties. They haven't necessarily had a platform like Disney Plus, and so that may make a difference. But honestly, I don't think they want to soil the idea of what Cinderella really is to Disney, or Snow White is to Disney, or what Peter Pan is to Disney. Now, if Guillermo del Toro wants to go and make something cool, but I don't see Disney doing that for sure.
They don't want to deal with the pearl clutching backlash.
Mm-hmm.
That's already happening about Pooh, that people just don't understand. Like, hey, it's out there now.
It's free. Mufasa. I am torn about this one, because we know how it ends.
Yeah. And I'm always like touch and go on prequels whenever it's not something that was really being called for. And so this is probably one of this entire list that I'm gonna be like, next. I love Lion King, but why do I want to know how Mufasa became king? Or the only thing that's saving grace for is Barry Jenkins is involved, and he's amazing as a director, writer, and all of that. And so that's
Seth Rogen too.
Yeah, Seth Rogen
and Billy Eichner.
Yeah, they're coming back as Pumbaa and Timon. But yeah, everyone that's involved in it seems like it's really good. But man, I just didn't really care to have a prequel of Mufasa. So that could definitely just be me. There could be a huge crowd out there that's just clamoring to find out how the dead king became king. But yeah.
Find out there was a third brother that he killed off, threw off a cliff, and that's how he became king. And
was his name Scab? Because there was Scar,
Scab.
Mufasa, Scar, and Scab, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He ate him in the womb.
It's a really short movie.
BRob, you have any thoughts on this one?
I'm with Justin. I'm just not something that I felt like I needed. I mean, I'll watch it. I know Kat's excited about it, and the kids are. It's just not one that I think there's a lot of other things I would ask for before I ask for this.
And that is an interesting way for like us to measure. Like, we have our excitement for the movie, but we all have, the kids, they love it, and we can get some joy from kids totally enjoying the movie, no matter how bad it ends up being, because this is now their future nostalgia, right? And so, I mean, maybe if the kids like it, then we'll get some joy from it, and as long as we don't have to watch it over and over and over and over again. Here's your tablet, watch it on that.
Next up, Snow White. I'm actually kind of excited about this one with the casting. We have, Rachel Zegler. Do we know anything she's been in?
I know she's been in a lot of things, but I can't place it.
I can't think of anything. And then Gal.
Is it Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot?
I think it's
Ashley
Gadot.
Eckstein
Yeah, I think it's
pronounced
Gadot.
that T at the end. And I was like, how did you not edit that out?
I think it's Gadot.
Rachel Ziegler was in West Side Story.
That's what it is.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, so she was the lead in West Side Story.
Okay.
Which was good.
It was good.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's in a lot of stuff coming up. There's a new Hunger Games that she's going to be in. She's going to be in Shazam, Fury of the
Is it called
Gods.
the Hungrier Games?
Yeah. What is this? I didn't even know this was a thing. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah, it's a book. It's about President Snow when he was a kid.
Oh, this is another prequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch that.
Please tell me Gal is going to be grumpy.
Oh, she has to be the evil queen, and she'll be amazing.
Right.
And she'll be the hottest evil queen ever.
Oh, I hope I have many nightmares about her.
B-Rob goes,
I hope they're as good as mine about Angelina Jolie as Maleficent were, Justin.
Yeah, I had nightmares, but it was just like, I watched that movie.
Okay, this one I'm really, really excited about. The new Little Mermaid with the first Black Ariel.
Mhm.
I actually read a really interesting article or this by this marine biologist. He said, you know, if she was a mermaid and lived at the bottom of the sea, technically her skin would be dark. Things at the bottom of the sea are either translucent or dark because it's completely dark down there. You don't want to be light skinned where they can see you. That's why like sharks are darker on top, lighter on the bottom, because as you're looking up, you'll see that light. You can't see them. They're basically invisible. I thought that was just a really scientific way of putting it.
But how sad is that? That's even remotely needed.
Oh, it's completely sad. It's pathetic.
Because Hallie is going to do an amazing job. The first time I heard her and her sister do the Disney sing-along to Princess and the Frog with, I can't ever remember her name. I knew she was going to be an amazing at something Disney live action eventually.
Right.
And she's going to do great.
I think it's going to be great. I'm very excited about this. I think she's gorgeous. She fits the part right. And it's just, I think it's sad that, like you said, it's even come to this, that it has to be defended.
Yeah.
My only worry for it is, I hope that, and even though there's source material, it doesn't get butchered like Green Lantern did, and we end up with a poor showing from Ryan Reynolds because of a horrible script. And everybody just bashes the actor when it was what they were given to work with that was absolutely awful.
Right. But Ryan Reynolds fixed it when he was Deadpool.
Yeah, he fixed that timeline.
He did do that, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did fix
Melissa
it.
McCarthy is going to be Ursula.
Is she really?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's true. That's gonna be good.
Okay, I'm down with that. I think she'll be a good Ursula.
Is she purple enough?
Well,
She holds her breath.
she's white, so she can play whatever she wants.
Yeah.
The idea that it got 100 or 1.5 million dislikes on YouTube in the first 2 days. I mean, it just
Pathetic.
It's not about, she can sing her ass off. She's beautiful. She, looks like a mermaid. There's nothing to dislike about this unless you're a racist asshole. And so it's just, I don't get it. How all of that, and even Halle Berry is getting hate mail.
Because people thought it was her.
Yeah, and it was like, oh God, yeah, you have to be stupid to be a racist. So I hope this kills, and I'm gonna watch it 4 or 5 times just to help that algorithm. And of course, Little Mermaid's my wife's favorite of all time, and so we'll be watching it because not only it will be good, I'm sure, but also I want to help that algorithm. I want to help, if it's shown in the theater, I'm going to go see it at least twice. To be able to get more diversity in this casting and not have an excuse for people to be like, or for the mouse to be like, well, we can't cast diverse people in the future because it didn't do well at the box office. But I think with the backlash and everything, I think they're going to take extra care to make sure that this just kicks ass. So there isn't that oh well, the story was awful, so it must be Halle Bailey's fault. It's not her fault, like kind of like BRob said. And so yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I really do.
I think one of the funniest tweets I saw, Halle Berry pointed out, someone tweeted at her, how this old ass bitch who's almost 60 gonna be Ariel playing someone who's 20, and she's like, it was basically, you dumb fuck, it's not me, read the name, is what was tweeted back. And I think a lot of the hate is the same assholes who are, Jesus is white.
Yeah.
And he's white, everyone's Anglo, and no, dude, just look at the parts of the world they're from, look at where they're from. And here's another thing. It's a mermaid and they're not real that we know of, so it can be whatever you want.
Don't crush my hopes and dreams that mermaids aren't real.
Yeah. I
My
mean,
bad.
if Johnny Depp can play Tonto in the Disney production of Lone Ranger, I mean, why can't this? That's a diverse casting.
Because she's black.
God.
Assholes.
Stupid.
Pixar. Elemental. I haven't seen anything on this one yet.
I've seen like one little screenshot of it.
But here's the thing, it's Pixar.
It's Pixar, so it's going to be good. They've got like several stuff coming out. There's Elemental. There's a movie called Win or Lose.
And Inside Out 2. Oh, I'm kind of iffy on Inside Out 2.
Yeah. My favorite though is coming. Is it? Wait, no. Strange Worlds is Disney. It's not Pixar, is it?
It's
No,
Disney.
that's
it's straight up
Disney animation.
But Win or Lose is Pixar's first like full series with Will Forte. So I'll watch because of that. I like Will Forte.
Yeah, and looks like Elemental is about a fire spirit and a water spirit.
So residents of different elements who come together. That's all we got.
Yeah, because there's no trailer. They didn't release a trailer for it.
Like there's a picture.
With Win or Lose, Will Forte is Coach Dan.
I said that. God dang it! Whatever. We're gonna keep going with the thing.
My cousin is one of the filmmakers, Michael Yates. So.
It's true.
Yeah. So
It's true, and it's on the internet now, so it's
double true.
So
mega true.
Give me some of those royalties, cousin.
What's the next one? Inside Out. I don't know. The reason I'm iffy on Inside Out 2 is I hated the feels the first Inside Out gave me. Like, because it's kind of rough.
Ooh, that was a deep movie.
Yeah, and it was rough. It was rough for me to get through.
My problem with the second one is I really liked how it ended. It was that kind of open ending where it was just a nice ending to the first one, and now it almost, it doesn't necessarily negate. You can pick up right where it left off, of course, but man, it's one of those again. Like I wasn't really wanting a second one, but they unfortunately didn't ask me before they released all this free stuff. So I'm sure if it's the same crew that did the first one, I'm sure it's going to be great. It's a whole different crew.
It's Amy Poehler's the only one returning as the voice.
Oh no, okay.
No Mindy Kaling and no Bill Hader.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Eek. Yeah. Then that'll be one where I will probably wait and let you guys see it and tell me.
Tell you if you should watch it or not.
Exactly.
So yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm iffy on that one. Disney Animation, Zootopia Plus. Not a sequel, but a series of shorts from the timeline of the film. So it's all the in between. So this could be like a 25-minute episode inside the DMV with the sloths. But they stretch out into 4 episodes.
Amazing.
It's a 4-parter.
It's a 4-parter, and he's still stamping.
That may be the running gag. That may be the post-credits running gag for the whole thing. Is just
it takes
like
8 episodes
slowly for him to 8 episodes to stamp it. I'm calling it now.
And then season 2, it's him smiling. I'll watch it. I like Zootopia.
I love Zootopia.
I love Zootopia.
I did too.
Yeah.
One
of those great movies that, especially as a parent, one of the hardest things to teach is empathy to your child. And Zootopia is something you can put on, and it's an entertaining movie, but yet there is so much more to it. And I loved it from the very beginning to the end. I thought it was great. So I will definitely be watching that. And of course, anything with a sloth named Flash. Okay,
why not?
It was made for me. So yeah.
Next one, BRob. Why don't you pronounce the name of this one?
I don't have it in front of me.
Hey, don't.
Justin.
I would you.
I would you.
You do
I'll go with that.
I would you.
It's the first. What's interesting about this one? first series set in Nigeria. Animated series in Nigeria, and it's got like a electric lizard, looks like a Pokemon, and like some flying stuff, which is great.
Drones.
The first time when it was called District 9.
I think this might be a little different, Chris.
I think it might be too. I don't know. I think it looks really interesting though, because it's got sci-fi fantasy elements, and it's from a part of the world we never had a series from,
Mhm.
at least that I know of.
And District 9 was South Africa. This is Nigeria. Two totally different places. Jeez.
Oh, my bad.
So
My
what's,
bad.
what's cool it says here is it's made in collaboration with the African entertainment company Kugali, probably butchered that, but marketing Disney's first collaboration with an independent studio in 100 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's per IGN. What they
That's
stated.
awesome.
Mm.
Next is Strange World. This one actually looks really interesting too.
Yeah, and this was going to
Jake-
theaters.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is the main character. And this is a Pixar. There's no new trailer, but I guess that they released a trailer.
This one's Disney, not Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
It says-
Disney animation.
Oh, it says on here, the page, Strange World, the upcoming Pixar film.
Oh, well, we got stuff shuffled up then.
Oh, thing I read, because it's under in my list that I was reading online. It's under Disney Animation Studios. But you're right. There's a little thing that says upcoming.
Pixar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
It's all under Disney.
Yeah,
it's all Disney stuff
the
anyway.
mouse owns it all.
I don't know anything about it, but the still looks really cool. So, and
Have you
Disney
seen-
animation, I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah. Have you seen any of the trailers?
No.
Okay, saw a movie 3 weeks ago, and this was one of the trailers to it, and they have it as a come explore, and it has like the big words that come across, and they're going to all these different strange lands. There you go.
Oh,
But
there it is. Yeah.
anything that's sci-fi, especially space travel, like I am totally in. So you add Disney animation to space travel. Growing up, I was a weird child. My favorite movie was The Black Hole. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yes, that's a great movie.
Oh my God. I watched it again when Disney Plus came out because I couldn't really find it on Blu-ray.
Wait, is it on Disney Plus?
Oh, it's on Disney Plus, yeah. And it was one of the first day drops or whatever, day one of the Disney Plus. I watched it again, and it was my favorite when I was probably 4 to 6 years old, in that range. It is a dark motherfucker movie. Like, it is dark. And I was like, oh, this explains so much about
Like the Black Cauldron.
Yeah. So whenever this came up, you didn't know it was Disney, didn't know what it was, but just the colors, the vibrant colors, and hearing Jake Gyllenhaal, everything going on, I was like, I am so in. What is this? And then it comes up with that, and I was like, okay, yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna have to watch this then.
You're saying it sucked you in like
It
a
definitely sucked
black
me.
hole.
And I was also a big fan of Lightyear. And so, because it's, space travel, it's time travel, it's.
I did like Lightyear.
And so I think this is going to be different, of course, than that, but along the same genre of space, sci-fi exploration, and Disney animation. Like, let's go. I'm in. Let's do this.
I felt like
That's
Lightyear
interesting.
was like one bad plot twist away from turning into Halo. Like,
I haven't seen Lightyear yet.
Lightyear's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
BRob, did
it's
you see
very-
it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that one.
And
Next,
it's not one that I was very psyched for, surprisingly. But it
but
was
it
very
ended
good.
up being really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Works
put
really
that
good
on
as
my
a
list.
standalone.
Next up is Wish. Ariana DeBose stars in it, and it's about the star from the Disney logo.
Oh, okay.
And
But is that star? Do we know who that star is?
mm-mm.
Mephisto.
Shit.
Dang it! Thunder Thief.
And
I mean, it could be.
Ariana DeBose was the other big star in West Side Story, in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Oh, that's where she's from. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome.
Well, and
She is very
Julia
good.
Michaels is the one who's writing all the songs for it too.
Oh, that'll be good.
She's the one who wrote a lot of the big hits for Bieber and Selena Gomez. So that's pretty cool. November 2023. Now let's get to the stuff we're really excited about. We can gloss through.
Yay.
Andor, I'm pretty excited about this. Diego Luna said he's done with Andor after this. He's not going to do it anymore. He's done with Star Wars. This is supposed to be the entry level Star Wars for this is supposed to be the one that's drawing the fans in, the younger generation, because current generation is us, middle-aged people. They're trying to draw on a younger base, and that's what Andor is about. This is about the rise of the rebellion, basically. This would be, I would say, set around the time of Rebels. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe we might see some like familiar faces from Rebels. I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
Yeah, I doubt she's with Ahsoka coming out. I don't
Yeah.
think you'll see him until then.
I know, but you never know. They have Disney likes to punk us. So
I'm not as excited for this one. I'm going into it with open eyes and an open heart for my
And
love
everything.
from
Right.
Cloud City. Yeah.
Cloud City.
Did you see that it's when it came out, and I guess today was the first day it came
Yep,
out.
first 3 episodes are out today.
I've already watched the first one. It already has the the Rotten Tomato meter. It's at an 88, and the only thing that anything Disney that's Star Wars that's opened up that high was Mandalorian.
Really?
That
Wow.
gives me hope.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of hope.
And if you look at a lot of the actors that are in it, like they cast some heavyweights. And so I think it's going to be good. I was trying to explain what it was to my wife, because I was like, here, watch this. This is coming out tomorrow. This was yesterday. And she was like, okay. And she watched it and she was like, cool. And I was like, well, no, it's like a prequel to Rogue One. And she was like, what was Rogue One again? And I was like, okay, well, Rogue One was a prequel to A New Hope. And she was like, you have so lost me. So I was like, you know what?
Did
Sit
you
there
give her
and-
divorce papers then in there?
No, she's too pretty to do that. So I was like, sit there and look pretty, and I'm gonna watch this. But from the first episode that I watched, like I think it's going to be pretty good. It's dark, it's gritty, it's not the usual mouse type of. It's like the antithesis, if you will, to She-Hulk. She-Hulk is light, fun, bright colors, vibrant. This the exact opposite. Dark. It's the dude murders someone within the first 10 minutes of it. That's not a spoiler because it's no one important, but Diego Luna's character does. And
So
so
important yet.
Yeah.
Or I guess ever, actually.
yeah.
Ever now.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see. And Rogue One is by far my favorite standalone, and I would put it probably in my top 2 or 3 of favorite Star Wars movies. Period. That's how much I love Rogue One. So I may be coming in this with a little bit of the big fan hat on, but I think it's going to be good.
So-
I think it's going to surprise a lot of people with how Mandalorian it can be, to where people are like, why do we need this? And they watch it like, oh God, I need that. So I think you're going to like it.
Oh,
So
wow.
Were you concerned? Because you brought up the Rotten Tomato meter thing in the score. Before you saw that, were you like a little concerned that it may not live up to your expectations?
It was one of those things where I was like, why do we need this? Especially because Rogue One, I loved it so much. It was so good. Why do we need this? I would rather have the Battle Squadron. I would rather have, which was canceled, unfortunately. Or what was that? Was it Rogue One Squadron or Battle Squadron? Anyway.
I thought it was Squadron, just Squadron.
Yeah,
No, that's
Squadron.
the game. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, and that got canceled. I was kind of wanting. There's a couple others that I was looking forward to more, but thinking about how much I liked Rogue One, thinking about and seeing that Rotten Tomato and reading some stories about how critically, it's not just Rotten Tomatoes, but across the board, like critics are saying yes, this is actually something you need to go watch.
So what you're saying is, like, after you read all that and you saw the reviews, it gave you a new hope for the show.
You ran him off.
There it is.
Wow, you're right.
BRob just glazed over.
They did get a bunch of big names for this, didn't they?
Mm.
Like Eric's in it, Stellan Skarsgård.
Mhm.
The lady who played Mon Mothma in Rogue One's back in it, Genevieve O'Reilly. Oh, Will Scolding's in it too. That was Rhaegar Targaryen in Game of Thrones, the brother.
Yeah, Chris, I just gotta. You haven't mispronounced anything yet.
He's doing
Just
really
give,
well. I'm so
give me
proud of him.
time.
Well done.
Give me time. We know it's
Well done.
coming. We know it's coming. Yeah, they really got some good names in this. So
Isn't Forrest
I'm
Whitaker in
excited.
it?
what's that?
Is Forrest Whitaker in it?
Yes,
Yeah. They showed him in the preview.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Saw Gerrera.
that
Which
may
Saw
be,
is one of my favorite characters.
that may be the Rebels crossover. That it may be. He may say, "Well, I was talking to blah blah blah," and so that may be where we get some type of Rebels crossover. But yeah,
I'm hoping we get Hondo,
oh, that would be awesome.
because that would be perfect for this time period too. This is the time period that Hondo flourishes.
Yeah,
I think you see Rex. I'm gonna make that prediction.
You think we're gonna see Rex? Because we know we're gonna see Rex and Ahsoka.
Yeah. I just don't think it's gonna be anybody.
That we
I
know.
don't, it's not gonna be Hera. I just don't think it's gonna be any like the Rebels crew, or I think it's gonna be somebody that ties it all together, like a Hondo, like a Saw. I mean, obviously Saw's in it.
Yeah.
So I think Hondo's a good call.
Apparently, one of the robots named Dave Chapman plays a robot called B2EMO.
Oh, he's gonna be sad.
He's gonna be a sad robot.
he's in the first episode.
Is he?
Mm.
I'm excited about Andor. This next one I am super excited about.
This may be, out of everything that we're looking at, this was my biggest surprise when I found out about it. Like, I didn't expect this, and easily in my top 3, if it's not like maybe the top one of everything we're talking about today.
Willow, you idiot.
Yes. Yes. My
Yep.
number one.
Yep, yes.
Willow was such a big part of my childhood.
Well, and they have a lot of the original cast back,
Mhm.
except they're not going to have Migosh, R.I.P.
Mad Mardigan.
Mad Mardigan, because that we know of.
I don't think they could. I mean, he barely, I think, pulled it together for Maverick.
Right, with the double trach off? Trach.
And I
They're
can't
talking
imagine how you could. I mean, they wrote it perfectly for that movie. I don't know how you could do it. Unless
Easy
it's-
swordsman that they slashed his throat, lost his vocal cords.
Right. Yeah.
But they did announce Christian Slater
Yeah.
Good.
in it. And then what's her name? The Queen's daughter,
Sorsha.
she's in.
Joanne
she's
Whaley.
back. Yes. They didn't announce. They did not announce Elora Danan though, which is surprising.
That who would be playing her, or that she's even in it?
That she's even in it. They haven't said anything about it.
She's got to be in it.
Well, you would think so, but they haven't said.
It's kind of a big part of the original thing there.
Then the one who I'm honestly kind of excited about. Oh, I don't know her name. She was in She was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She was in Solo.
Oh yes,
The redhead,
yes,
the ginger.
yeah. Crap. What is her
I just
name?
looked it up the other day and I couldn't remember.
She's British. That's all I can remember. But yeah, she's a great actress. I love her.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember watching when they had the little behind the scenes preview thing for this, and seeing her. Like, oh yes.
So I'm excited about that, and just I love Warwick Davis. Anyway,
It's Aaron Kellyman is who it is. He played
Aaron
Nicholas
Kelly-
Ness in Solo.
Good point. Good point. Yes. And who did she play in Falcon? Carly in Falcon and
Carly,
the Winter
yeah.
Soldier. She was great in that. She made you feel everything in that role.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited about. And she was Winifred in The Green Knight too. remember. But yeah, I'm really excited about Willow. Like, I just love Willow to begin with.
I can't wait to
Matt.
see Falcor.
What's that?
I can't wait to see Falcor.
Which they did announce.
So Falcor is going to be in Willow.
No, not Willow, but they did announce
Okay,
the
I was
never
gonna
ending. No,
say.
they did announce.
I
the
saw what you were
never-ending
trying to do
story.
there.
I was trying to conflate the two, and you totally ruined the joke because they are actually coming out, and I didn't
Yeah,
see.
they are actually coming. They did announce it yesterday that they're coming out with Never Ending Story, the TV show
The
Oh.
never ending
on
Willow.
Disney
Is that
Plus.
where-
Yeah,
Yep. So Falcor.
reminds me of my favorite Simpsons joke when Lionel Hutz was like, "This is going to be when Homer gets kicked out of the all-you-can-eat buffet." And he's like, "This is going to be the best suit since the Never-Ending Story."
Lionel Hutz.
Yeah.
Bad Batch season 2. Pissed that they moved it back. Now it's 2023.
Did they say why? I never saw any
They
reason.
haven't said a word.
Hmm.
The only thing I can think of is that it was supposed to be this week, same week as Andor.
Mhm.
And they bumped
that's
Andor up.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
Maybe they just wanted to space it out. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Usually-
I'm
But-
not against them spacing out because there's so much stuff.
Yeah. But usually when something's pushed back that far, it's like, but if it's animated and supposed to come out originally this week, it must be done. So it makes me think maybe it's just a timing issue and all that. But
That's what I'm hoping.
man, I would rather have Bad Batch than Andor. Give me all the Bad Batch I can take.
I really want to see what ended up happening. After this, because this is after that cliffhanger. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, and I like
Um,
that it's 16 episodes too, so it's going to be a good season. It's not just 8 or 10 episodes, but yeah, 16. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, they don't have to
We-
rush stuff.
Right, and we saw the Doctor at the end,
Hmm.
so I'm really pumped about that one. Tales of the Jedi. We've already talked about Ahsoka. I am so ready for Ahsoka. Rosario did phenomenal in that role. We have, we've already know we're going to be seeing Rex. We know we're going to be seeing Sabine. We know we're going to be seeing, who else? Who am I missing?
Ezra.
Ezra. Yeah, because they just announced who Ezra is.
But
I
are
am-
we going to see Thrawn?
Yeah, they already said we're going to see Thrawn.
For sure.
So,
Oh god, that's
but they didn't say in
thank-
what capacity. So I don't know if we're going to see him from episode 1 to get go, if he's going to be the main antagonist or if he's going to be like the cliffhanger. But they did say we would see Thrawn,
yeah.
and I am there for a live action Thrawn.
Oh hells yeah.
The Skeleton Crew. I know nothing about this one.
There's not much out there.
Yeah.
We just know that it has Jude Law. That's like all the information I got on it right now. And it doesn't really give it a release date or anything.
I don't get too excited about things like this because they announced several cool things last year that then got canceled. And so I think this is probably one of those things as well, like Squadron, where it's like, oh, we got this. And yeah, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Well, from the picture, it looks like they're in Jabba's palace with the little eyeballs that screen you.
I can see that.
I'm wondering if he's like the janitors of Jabba's palace he runs.
Skeleton Crew makes me think of like heist, getting the crew together. I don't know.
You son of a bitch! I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. So I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Mandalorian season 3. I'm there.
Yep. Well,
I haven't watched any of Mandalorian. Is it good?
All right.
No, it's terrible.
It's
Terrible.
okay.
I should
Okay.
just-
Horrible.
Okay.
Good.
Although I am interested to see how they're going to pull off the ship for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a bathroom
Yeah. You would think he'll commandeer. So even though I do love the new ship,
there. Oh, I do too.
there's no way you can have a baby in there.
Mm-mm.
So, but I'm glad that they're reunited. We're not gonna have to worry about Luke or Ahsoka and all that. It's now back to them two and all the
Mhm.
the wacky hijinks. So I am so in, so in.
I want to know what happened to Sasha Banks's Mandalorian character. That's what I want to know. She hasn't been in since.
I think she's going to be back because what we saw from the preview of Mandalorian season 3 is that Bo-Katan is hunting Mando
Right.
actively with her the Death Watch. They're actively hunting Mando.
Well, she had the time to film it because she walked out of WWE.
Yeah, she's got the time. So they might have written her in more.
Mm.
I did like her character though. So
I just don't know why you put her in like the scene she was in, if it wasn't going to be a bigger character.
right. So maybe it will for Ahsoka. Or who knows?
This
Indiana
one-
Jones
yeah.
5.
This one I am so torn on.
Because after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
That and like
Well, this is the final ride though.
He just looked rough at D23.
Well, he is what 70?
And I agree with that, but I mean that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm with Kyle. I'm like,
I don't want. Yeah, I don't do because
Like
when I
the
was
dog
young-
he was named after, they should put him down.
when I was younger, I was a bigger Indiana Jones guy than I was a Han Solo guy. I loved Indiana Jones, and unless they'll have to do this just right, like perfectly, or you want to talk about backlash?
Yeah.
Because if this is a passing of the torch, like I watched Crystal Skulls like twice, and just the obviousness of stunt doubles, because he had to, of course, because he's old, but how obvious the stunt double stuff was, and so many things with it. It's just like, man, just leave it. You had a good ending with 3, and unless they do some way to, and I don't think I even want them to pass the torch, honestly.
I want them to make it like I want them to be self-aware of how old he is and not even try and hide it. So like his stunt double is like a little brown boy, like a little Indian guy, like in like real like Cal Penn, like just someone, you know what I mean? Just be self-aware and just make it just a play. They go, we know it's old, we know it's not relevant anymore.
Well,
Let's just have fun with it.
I think the title of the movie that they released, it kind of tells us where they're going to go with it. It's Indiana Jones and the Porcelain Throne. And so I think it's just going to be sitting on the toilet for pretty much 2 hours just trying to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
He's trying to get the Metamucil off the pedestal.
This was another one of those I was like, why? And if you saw the South Park episode about Crystal Skull, it perfectly encapsulates that.
I think I'm just
about that.
Stuck on this clogged toilet. I'm like, we need to get something. We'll get the snake. No snakes. No.
But when I saw that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is writing it,
yeah,
she's amazing, and even all of her, and you can see on, I think it's on Hulu, but there's several shows that are funny, but yet they're really like biting as far as satire, but then also, I mean, it's dramedies, I guess, more of what you could call it. So she also helped to write the last James Bond. She was brought in to clean that up, and I really liked that movie. But then having James Mangold as the director, I mean, I was like, okay, now I feel good about this. Anyone that does Old Man Logan, and that was a property that we loved in Wolverine, an actor that we knew with Hugh Jackman about getting old and dying, and he did it so well that it's like, okay, this may be the only director, honestly, that they could bring in, even with a Spielberg and all of that. This may be the only director that they can bring in that me personally would be like, okay, I'll buy a ticket. I'll do that.
You'll do
I mean, I'll go watch it. Do you think they're going to kill him off? I don't know how many times I can watch Harrison Ford die.
They have to. Well, you saw it in Force Awakens.
Exactly.
Spoiler.
Exactly. That was so tough.
You think he's gonna steal something and he's gonna go, I didn't do it, and then Tommy Lee Jones will come in and go, I don't care.
The crossover that we weren't expecting.
Or didn't want, but we'll watch.
We'll watch. I don't know. I mean, I get a feeling they're going to kill him off. And we lost Justin again. That's fine.
Sad
And
Justin.
sad Justin. That I mean, they're going to give him a send off, and because you don't want Indiana Jones to die from old age. You want him doing something cool, even if he is 87 or however old
Indiana
he is now.
Jones versus Medicare.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it just because I'm a completist. Like I hated Dark Phoenix,
That was awful.
but I own it because I own all the rest of them, so I have to complete the set.
Mhm.
Um,
That's how
I
they
just
get
have
you.
to. Yeah. Now Marvel. I know BRob's been waiting for this one. BRob, why don't you tell us about Wakanda Forever? That comes out in a month.
So it's just going to pick up where we don't know, because we don't know how they're going to ride out Chadwick. And I'm sure it is going to be epic in whatever fashion they do. I was really surprised that Winston Duke talked as much about it. So I'm hoping that Manate gets to make an appearance and he becomes a bigger character.
Yeah.
But Shuri's back. Nakia, the Queen.
That's it.
I can't remember if Martin Freeman's back in it or not.
I don't know.
But they are also bringing in a new character who we've been waiting to see in Namor.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be very interesting, and in the previews we've seen, the take that they're doing on him, it's a little more, it looks more Aztecish,
Which I think is really cool.
So
Yeah.
you get more sprinklings of mutants.
Right.
Just a little mutant.
Because Namor
little
was
dash of
considered
mutant.
what?
The first mutant.
I still argue about that, but whatever.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
well,
because you
between
got
him and Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah.
But it just it depends. Well, technically, if you think about it, though, Namor came first in the comic.
Yeah, but he sucks. So
It does suck. He was great in Rick and Morty, though.
Wouldn't
Right.
Human Torch be the first, especially in the comics?
Because he was an
Yeah.
android.
We're talking
Oh,
chronologically, or are you talking
Human
about?
Torch was an android, the very first one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a dude.
No, he was on the Defenders. Remember, he was an android.
I got you.
So I don't know. It's something else that came out of this too was that they named Chadwick a Disney legend,
Oh.
which was amazing. And then he won a Grammy?
Mhm.
Or is it Oscar?
Grammy's music.
Yeah,
Oh,
Grammy's
Oscar.
music.
Then he won an Oscar. What is it?
Posthumously.
Posthumously, yeah, for his voiceover work in What If.
Yeah. That's I think that was an Emmy, right?
Yeah, Oscars haven't come out yet. It wasn't any.
It was Emmy.
Yeah.
It was something. We knew I was gonna fuck something up tonight.
Chris Rock's going to get slapped at the Oscars, I think, in November.
Okay, that's right. Why you got hit so hard? Um,
I'll tune in for that.
Yeah.
Because women be shopping. Women be shopping.
would be shopping.
throw out a
I
bold-
forgot M'Baku was Manape. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about that one.
So I'm going to throw out a bold prediction that this will be the first Marvel movie nominated for Best Picture.
Do you think so? Well,
I-
you saw that Ryan got arrested while filming this too, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys
Coogan
see the
did?
video? Yeah,
Uh-uh.
because he went to the bank
He went to the bank.
and they called the cops on him because he was trying to. Was he trying to withdraw or deposit?
Withdraw.
Withdraw, and from his account, he had his checkbook, he had everything, but he wanted to take a large amount of money. And so they said, no, you can't do it. They shut the gates, they locked him in and called the cops.
Hmm.
And he's like, IMDb me right now. He's like if you watch the cops video camera and like the security face, like IMDb me. My name is Ryan. And he's telling them all, I'm the director of this, this, and this. I'm not trying to do it. I'm just trying to get my money. It's my money.
Yeah.
And they offered him an apology because, that makes it better.
Yeah. He handled it very classy.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Everything he does is the top notch of class, but I don't know.
This shouldn't have happened.
I don't know how he didn't just go mad ass on him.
I don't know either. Yeah, I'm really excited about Wakanda Forever. I'm I think that's going to be one I see in the theater.
Are we all still on the same page that we know who's going to take over Black Panther?
Shuri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's got to be. It has to be. Well, and you know, Killmonger's rumored to return in this one too.
Right.
So, but I think it's going to be Shuri, because I think it's going to follow the 2000s storyline. That's what I'm hoping.
I just don't. I hope they do it, and they do it in a meaningful way, where that character, the female character, means as much as she does for more than one movie. Because I hate what they did with Jane Foster.
Yes. Yes. An afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think just from the trailer, you can see how much reverence they're taking to this story, how much reverence they're taking to Chadwick Boseman passing, and how much, I mean, it's not just like, oh yeah, and he died. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But like, it looks like the whole story is going to revolve around how are we going to recover and move on from this?
Mhm.
And so I think because of that, they are going to treat it really like the passing of the torch. They're going to treat it with reverence, and it's not just going to be, oh yeah, it's Siri, and we never hear about her again. But yeah, I think it's going to be, she's going to be a mainstay in the MCU for a while.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I do too. Next one, Ironheart, Riri Williams, who is supposed to be in Wakanda forever. Her character in the comics is smarter than Tony Stark. You know, in going back to previous episode too, Bruno is supposed to be in Wakanda also, from Miss Marvel, but will he be in there? I doubt it. I think they're keeping that separate. But Riri, we're supposed to get our first introduction to her there, which I find really interesting because she made her own armor in her garage
Mhm.
out of spare parts. Now with this Wakanda tech, I'm just only imagining what she's going to do. Do we think she's going to play a bigger part in Wakanda Forever and it leads directly into Ironheart? Or what do you guys think?
The way that I think it's probably going to go is she'll have kind of like America Chavez type of role.
Mhm.
Where it's an important aspect of the movie, but it's not about her.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it will open up for the series to learn more about her and get the backstory and get, you know, how she became who she is. And I really hope that's how it goes, that we don't get like backstory in the movie, but we just find out, okay, here's Riri Williams, here's Ironheart, looks a lot like Iron Man, really smart, that has all of these capabilities. And then in the series, we then see how she became who she is. I think that'd be a really smart way to go, instead of using a movie that we've already talked about that's going to be about should be about Chadwick Boseman and the passing of the torch to the next Black Panther.
Yeah.
It would, I think, take away from that storyline and it would take away from Ironheart's storyline if you tried to cram that into that movie. And just like with America Chavez, we didn't really get a lot of backstory. We got a little bit in there, but it wasn't like all of it. And so hopefully that's the way that they go with it. But I've been so excited for Ironheart to come out. She's been one of my favorites, like one-offs to read. So whenever I'm at a comic book store and I'm like, oh, hey, there's an Ironheart, so I'll just grab one here and there. I don't follow her a lot, but I just really like her character. I like the how she's almost the antithesis of Tony Stark, but they have the same powers, same type of. And so I think it's going to be a really cool addition to the MCU.
I think BRob agrees with you there.
Yeah, I think she's going to be like Justin. I completely agree with everything Justin said. I think Shuri's really going to be doubting herself after the loss of her brother and what she's being asked to do. And I think Riri is going to kind of be that voice to kind of assure her, that because she's so smart and because of who she is and what her brother thought of her and family and the country, and just kind of push her to fully take on the mantle. So I think the America Chavez comparison, I think, was perfect.
I agree. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I am really excited about this one. mostly because this is our first introduction into Kang. Full introduction into Kang. I know that we had him in Loki, but he wasn't Kang. Wasn't the full Kang that we know. This is Kang the Conqueror, the multiverse conqueror. And this is supposed to directly lead into what's the Kang Wars or whatever they're calling it?
Avengers, yeah.
The Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to get quite a bit in Quantum Mania also. As well as they're hinting at new characters too. Introductions. So
Quantumania?
Yeah. And Loki season 2 is supposed to directly follow this as well.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how all the Loki stuff is going to tie into everything that's happening right now, because it's just kind of hanging right there to be plucked from, and how there's so much going on right now with multiverse stuff, with the things that are going on in Loki, with all there's so much going on. Like, we need a flow chart, I think, of where are we, which universe, what's happening, who's where. Like,
We'd get so lost.
And they're pretty good at keeping timelines vague, that you don't necessarily know when everything is happening. And I think that's 100% by design, not just because they don't want to be like, okay, this is going to give something away. It's just their classic thing of being able to pull from old stuff to make it make sense later, or just leave it.
Right. So any other thoughts on Quantum Mania? Or are we good?
They're good.
It's gonna be awesome.
Super excited for it.
I am too. This one I'm very excited about. Werewolf by Night. 2 weeks away from this. By the time you all are listening to this, it'll be a week away.
Yeah.
I remember reading Werewolf by Night and Marvel Comics Presents. Loved the stories because this is also supposed to be the introduction of Man-Thing in there as well as they're hinting at several other Marvel legends, I guess you could say, monster legends. I think we're going to get introduced to Dracula and Frankenstein. Reason is because we know that the Midnight Suns show is already in production. We know that the video game's coming out in December. So I think this is all leading up to just the bigger, the Marvel Monsterverse, if you will, the supernatural phase of Marvel. And we know that there's going to be a Man-Thing TV show already, which, you know, Man-Thing is a direct ripoff of Swamp Thing. We know that, but his power set's a lot different.
Man-Thing.
I do love Man-Thing. I really love Man-Thing. The comic, I love the comic.
I would say, I can't remember. I gave you some Man-Thing last time I was up there.
You did, and it was marvelous.
It was still in the wrapper and everything. It was a collection of Man-Things. Or Men Things.
It was bigger than I thought it was going to be.
No, what was that?
Do you think that Werewolf by Night's going to lead directly into Blade as well? Since
absolutely. Like, I'm wondering if we're going to see Blade.
That's what I was wondering too. But in all of the trailers I've watched and things I've read, I haven't seen anything about Blade.
I don't think you would, though.
I think they're keeping it under wraps. Because are we going to see with Werewolf by Night? I love how it's the very, like, the old time noir feeling. It's all in black and white, like the old time shows. I'm wondering if we're going to see, like, maybe Hannibal from Midnight Suns, the vampire. Blade. I'm wondering if we're going to see maybe an early introduction to Ghost Rider, because we know he's coming too. He's supposed to be in the Midnight Suns TV show.
Well, you get that kind of slight nod to Ghost Rider in
She-Hulk. Yeah. What was his name?
Not Johnny Blaze. It was what was his crap?
It was almost like Yanni Yates.
No, She-Hulk Blaze. It was Donnie Blaze.
Donnie Blaze, that's right.
Yeah.
Donnie Blaze. Yeah. That was such a good episode. I'm really enjoying She-Hulk.
I'm over that show.
Are you? I love that show.
I love it.
It's good. I think maybe if I didn't feel like Love and Thunder was such a comedic wreck, maybe I'd feel different. I don't know. So I can't.
You got ruined by Love and Thunder.
I can't do forced comedy and I'm sure it's going somewhere, but I don't know how you ever tie her into a serious team. The way
Because
that
you
it's
bring
written right.
Wongers in.
And I hope Madison comes back.
Oh, it's
Oh my God, Madison better
not where
be.
you think.
She goes, I guess who's an Avenger? I don't know. I'm really enjoying She-Hulk, though. That's interesting, BRob. I want to talk to you about this later. Secret Invasion, one of my favorite Marvel storylines. With, for those of you who are unfamiliar, that's when you find out that everything you think you knew was a lie, because everyone who you thought you knew was a Skrull, sleeper agent. Like the majority of the superheroes of the world and villains are Skrull sleeper agents. And you don't know where. So like people who they thought that they loved for years and you haven't been married to, like I think Mockingbird she was a Skrull, wasn't she, in the comic? And then you come to find out she's been in deep sleep in space on the Skrull ship for years. So this whole life that Barton had with Mockingbird, gone. Didn't actually exist. So I'm really excited about that because we see Nick Fury back for this.
I like the trailer I saw for this because it felt more. It didn't feel as like superhero-y. That makes sense. Like it was more
felt like a Law and Order to me.
Yeah, like Law and Order, crime. Like there was, what was the cleanup? What's the cleanup division's name? We saw him in Miss Marvel.
Oh, if you wouldn't have said, I could have told you. BRob, you remember Justin? The superhero cleanup crew?
Yeah. You saw flashes of them in the trailer, and it just had this like mix up kind of like Law and Order, shoot 'em up cop mystery
Damage
thing. Damage control kind of mixed with like I got a little bit of a Matrix feel from a couple of the scenes that they showed. And so I'm super excited about this one.
Yeah, they have some amazing actors that are going to be in this, so
Yeah.
it's going to be good. And if you want to, if you hear this description and you're like, how's that even going to work? Just go back to the end credit scene of Far From Home, to where
That's right.
you watch the entire movie. And I won't give anything away, but you watch the entire movie thinking one thing, and then the end credit scene, you're like, what?
Give it away. If they haven't seen Far From Home yet, that's their
Yeah, I
fault.
guess it is. So yeah, but you find out that two of the main characters that were in the entire movie that you're like, oh yeah, I know those characters and I've seen them in 6, 7 movies.
Star Wars
Is actually Skrulls, and so I thought that was a perfect tie-in. And when I saw that back in 2019, I was like, oh my god, Secret Invasion must be next. Oh god. And so I've been jazzed for this for a while, and I think the way that they're attacking it, if you will, I think the way that they're approaching it is really, really smart. It's not a hyper action type thing, but it is more of I think cerebral, if you will.
Yep.
With good writing, good actors, everything like that. So I think it's going to be solid. I'm like stupid excited for it.
I wonder how they're going to turn Talos, or what his character is going to. I think that's the one, since I've seen him in Captain Marvel. What I've always thought about is, ooh, I mean, he's kind of a good guy. How is this all? How's Secret Invasion going to come about? So,
yeah. Well, and we know we're going to see Super Skrull. Like that, they've been leading up to that, which we know Super Skrull is one of the main villains for anyone.
Movie.
Fantastic Four.
Mephisto.
For Mephisto.
Son
Yes.
of a bitch.
With Jake, the
Fantastic
goat.
Falcor.
Time is froze.
Atreyu.
Mephisto froze time.
Falcor.
Mitchell.
Hate you all. But Super Skrull, I'm pumped for it. Next one, Armor Wars. One of my favorite Iron Man stories. Tony Stark's tech was stolen and put out there everywhere, and this is about how Tony's getting it back. This is like Red Dynamo, the Soviet Iron Man. I forget. One of them was, he was the one with the nuclear core. And that's how Tony created. He was going up against these samurais. This Japanese firm stole the tech. It's these like cyber samurais, and that's the issue that Tony created the War Machine armor.
Hmm.
Was in the middle of all this. We've also seen concept sketches of Rhodey's new War Machine armor, and they have confirmed there's going to be multiple iterations of the War Machine armor in this show.
Cool.
And one of them looks awesome. It looks like an old Japanese Oni, like I'm sure you guys have seen, like the old Darkstalkers game. The guy with the Oni, the chest plate that's like the mouth and stuff. That's kind of like what this concept picture they released was.
How old is Cheadle getting? I'm starting to think about this now. He
was on Golden Girls. He's old.
He has to be easily mid-50s, right?
November 29, 1964. So he's about to turn 58.
Hmm.
He's on up there.
So I'm excited about Iron Wars or Armor Wars. Loki season 2, we've already hit on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Short rounds in it. I think we all agreed Loki was one of our favorite series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we really need to go too in depth in this because we know.
Yeah, we probably don't need to talk about this next one either. We can just go right on to.
Oh, fuck you. Fantastic Four. We know I'm super excited. I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. We all know this. I'm hoping we get introduced to Silver Surfer. I will tell you, I think the next Mephisto thing is who's going to play Doom.
Yeah.
Or if Doom's going to be in there. I think that's kind of the next Mephisto thing.
You can have
Henry Cavill, man.
I've heard that one. Like,
Playing
how
Dr. Doom?
awesome. Superman's playing Doom.
I would love it.
Dude, he would be awesome at it.
It would be.
And he'd be like the Witcher Doom. So
Who else would be cool? Who?
As long as it doesn't do the shitty time jumps like The Witcher, I'll be happy.
Yes. I really want to know who, like, I was super disappointed because they were supposed to have announced the cast, who was at least going to be the 4, and they didn't, which has me a little worried.
All right, so if you had to pick your 4,
fuck.
Dreamcast plus Doom, so you're 5.
You guys go first because we know I'm terrible at this. You start, BRob, if you got 5.
Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Yep.
I think those are no-brainers. I would honestly wouldn't mind seeing Zac Efron
As Torch, as Johnny.
Torch.
Yeah,
Ben Grimm.
that's a tougher one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
How about the dude from This Is Us, the husband?
Justin
one who had the heart.
Harlot,
Yeah, the one who had
Yeah.
the heart attack. He's a good actor.
right?
he's
That
got-
Green Arrow,
Yeah.
Arrow from the original from Smallville.
Yeah,
That guy.
yeah, and he's got the build for Grimm, the height,
I can see that.
because Grimm is, he's a big dude.
Right. Alan Richardson, Jack Reacher.
Oh
Doug,
yeah,
or
yeah,
Hawk.
yeah. Oh, and Hawk, yeah.
Yeah.
He would be
on a decent-
great.
Yeah, he would be awesome. That'd be a
I
good.
think. I'm trying to think of a good Grimm. I mean, I'm with you on Krasinski and Blunt.
Yeah.
What is his name? Could he pull this off? I
Jack
forgot
Black?
his name. No.
I'm the thing.
I don't know. I've got it in my head, and I think after I say it, I may think maybe not. Crap, what is this guy's name? I'm looking him up really fast. Stay with me. Not him. Where'd he go? Stranger Things.
Dylan Harbor.
David
And
Harbour.
David Harbor.
David Harbour. He's
Couldn't-
a big dude, and he
couldn't be- because
And
he's
he was Hellboy.
but he's in Thunderbolts and
Right.
Red Guardian.
He's Red Guardian.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, never mind. Scratch that. I forgot.
I think who would be a great person for it and would make all of the heads explode that they did with Ariel would be Terry Crews. I think
Yes.
Ben,
Okay, he goes. Watch my rock pegs.
Right.
he has the comedic timing. He has the body, of course.
Mama Graham's blue-eyed boy.
So I think Terry Crews would be my choice.
That
That's a
would be
great
awesome.
call.
That would be it. That's a good one.
I'll tell you who I
thought you
wouldn't
were going to
mind.
say John Cena, and then, but
Well,
we
no
would
one
never.
be able to see
Yeah,
him.
we'd never see him in the movie anyway. So
Or he comes out doing the peacemaker dance. Yeah. I tell you, I would not mind this. I would not mind seeing. I know he's Killmonger. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a redemption. Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm. I liked him as Johnny Storm. The movie sucked
Yeah,
Right.
terribly, but he was good in the role.
it was.
Or
I like Kate Mara.
yes, yeah.
Or just bring back Chris Evans, man.
That was my next one. I
Why
wouldn't
not?
mind seeing Chris Evans again.
why not?
Like, Johnny, why are you so old? Oh, it's because Johnny Storm.
Yeah. Why do you look like Captain America?
Because that's a fireball ass.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we could just call it It's a Scroll and just move on with it.
It's a scroll world after all.
That's going to open up so many avenues for like cop outs if they wanted to go that way with it. You're like, you know what? No, that wasn't really.
That was a
No,
scroll.
But
the
I
whole
hope-
time.
I hope they actually show Galactus, not this
Oh, that would be awesome.
not the slime, but Galactus, because
Right.
you know in Love and Thunder, when we were in the city of the gods, we saw the
Mhm.
Celestials, and Galactus is a Celestial from another universe that's already dead.
Man, I think if they do bring, it's going to have to be after Kang, because there's no way you can have Kang and Galactus.
No, in the same universe right now.
Huge villains that there would be no way to. It would be hurtful, if you will, to the Marvel universe if you diminished either one of them by having them both as the big bad. So I think probably, since we already know Kang's coming, I think they're probably they may hint towards Galactus, and so nerd boys like us are gonna be like, ooh,
Yeah.
but they're not actually gonna show or have him until probably after Kang.
So I wouldn't mind seeing.
So 100 episodes from now, I'm going to have to listen to Chris go, it's Galactus.
It's
Just like-
Galactus. I'm telling you, it's Galactus.
And then I'll
Tim-
We still won't have
"No, it's a
Mephisto at
scroll."
that time.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. Is it Chalamet as Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer?
Okay.
Because he's got that tall, slender build. I think he could pull that off if we get Galactus,
Yeah.
or someone as Fire Lord.
I'm talking about all this stuff we have coming
No,
out. I'm trying to think back, and I don't think we've had this yet in the movie, or at least to a huge extent. And correct me if I'm wrong, because there's just so much out there that I may just completely be forgetting this. But you have that trope of good guys, badder guy, good guys team up with not as bad guy to fight the badder guy, right?
Mhm.
And so I don't think we've seen anything of that yet, and I'm really surprised. And with all this stuff coming out, like, maybe that would be a good introduction to get two big bads in a movie at the same time. We're like, you know what? We're going to have to work together on this one. That old line.
One of those,
Yeah.
like we
Yeah, I mean, you
see in the
kind of
comic.
see it in X-Men when Magneto and them join forces to fight Trask. And
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking
Sentinels.
Foxman
Yeah.
I know, but still,
still.
it's all the same now. Might as well be.
They've done a lot of that in the DC universe, especially with HBO Max and Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, things like that. But I don't think they've really touched on that very much in the Marvel
No,
universe.
not at all. Kyle, I am digging your Invisible Woman costume you're doing though.
My
When
what?
you're moving, you keep disappearing.
I feel like Bilbo keeps putting on the ring.
Oh, he's gone.
Where'd I go? Oh, there I
Good,
am.
he's
Okay.
gone.
Been watching a lot of Penn and Teller lately, so I'm really getting good with my magic.
Next, Echo. I'm
What?
excited. I loved her character. She has basically is she a mutant in the comic? BRob, do you remember?
I thought so.
I thought she was too. Her mutant ability is the same as Taskmaster's. If I remember right, she can watch something. It's like a photographic memory, and then just able to instantly repeat it, any movement. So that's why she's so hard to beat. And the actress who plays her is great. They've promised, like I said, we've already seen. They've promised. They've hinted at Punisher. They've hinted at a couple other tie-ins because they've already said Daredevil and Spider-Man are going to be the leaders of the next phase, the street level heroes.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty pumped about. So we'll move on from Echo. Daredevil Born Again. Really excited about this. Charlie Cox, love him. Really pumped. If you all haven't seen it, spoiler, we did see the yellow helmet
Mhm.
at the end of the last She-Hulk, which I was there for. So we're gonna get the red, yellow, and black Daredevil costume. I'm really pumped about this. I just think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I like they're not necessarily going to. It's not a sequel to the Netflix series, but it's also not saying that the Netflix series never happened. It's just going to be like its own thing, if you will. And so, so yeah, I'm so excited. My wife and I have been going back, and over the past month or two, we've watched all 3 seasons of the
Daredevil,
Devil on
Netflix.
Netflix. And I was just reminded about just how damn good it was. And so
That one shot 5-minute fight scene on episode 2.
it's just and it it's fun to go back and be like, wait, like how many fights can one person get in an enclosed area?
Mhm.
But yeah, seeing that this was announced, like, oh my god, this may be the number one thing from Marvel that I'm excited about. Because I think it's gonna be so good. So
My biggest worry about that one, I don't know that anybody will ever be able, in my mind, be able to do Elektra as good as Elodie Young.
Mhm.
So how they end up doing, because they're not bringing her back. So how they do that, because I agree, I'm super excited for Daredevil. I love that entire cast.
Did they say they're bringing back Karen and Foggy?
Thought Foggy. I don't know about Karen.
Oh,
I don't know if Deborah Ann
Bolton.
Wool's coming back, but I thought Foggy was. But that was so good and just set the tone for Netflix to be able to do Luke Cage so good and Jessica Jones so good, and they shit the bed with Iron Fist. But
Mhm.
I don't know how you really do that one that great, honestly, in my mind. I've never been a huge fan. But the Defender series as a whole, to tie it together, I felt was a redemption of the Iron Fist series. But I was a big fan of Colleen's and Iron. So I mean, there's just so many good things. But Daredevil, it was the start.
Yep.
And Charlie Cox is so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan of Elektra and how that was done, and just the Hand in general. So what they're going to do with that, I think I'm super excited to see.
You think we'll see Rosario again, because she was kind of the bridge in between the shows.
Is it Night Nurse who she kind of becomes?
Night Nurse, yeah.
Yeah. She said she would love playing that character, and she would love to be in the Marvel universe.
Claire. Yeah, Claire.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
She's got
I
Ahsoka
hope.
now.
yeah, I saw an interview where she said she's not at this point, but they really haven't started filming, not at this point, and so it didn't sound like she thought she was going to be. And I mean, she's filming Ahsoka. She has quite a bit of stuff that she's going to be doing.
Right.
But I thought it was cool that it also leaked that Daredevil is going to be making an appearance in She-Hulk.
Mhm.
So it's
We know it's soon too.
yeah, and so it's not just the helmet. And there was a comic run of where Matt Murdock and Jennifer Walters were in the law practice together. And so it'd be cool if future Disney Plus shows, it maybe spins off and they have that. And there's just so much cool stuff that Disney can do now with that.
Absolutely.
And I really like that it's a series too, that it's not a movie. So we're going to have the in-depth stories and everything that goes along with it. And I like how Marvel is keeping the street level on the series, and except for Spider-Man, keeping the bigger ones on the movies, because those do feel more intimate. They feel smaller. They feel like street level heroes. And so I think they're really doing a great job of how they're approaching all that. So yeah, it's going to be good.
And the link between the two, we're getting the Kingpin back, which he is such a great Kingpin. Such a great Kingpin. And then I'm hoping we get a Bullseye that isn't so shit. Like a Bullseye that's actually Bullseye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
those movies, oof, they were so bad.
Yeah,
So I'm glad that Marvel is just like, yeah, let's not even. Those
they don't exist.
It's the Green Lantern of the Marvel world.
Mhm.
Yeah, that just didn't happen. That didn't happen.
I hope that Deadpool in movie 3 goes back, and anything that they want to erase in the Fox history, Deadpool just goes and kills them at the end.
Nice, yes.
Just
Next
let
one.
that be the running gag. What do we got?
Captain America.
New World Order.
I'm pumped about this one. What's the big controversy that came out this week is they cast Sabra in New World Order. If you remember, Marvel Comics Presents, Sabra was the superhero of Israel. Superpowered, really cool character. She teamed up a lot with Cap, Silver Sable. She teamed up a lot with. Rumored we're supposed to be seeing Silver Sable soon too. I don't know if it's in Cap or if it's going to be in Daredevil, because she was big in both of them. But the big controversy is that Sabra, hero of Israel, Marvel doesn't want to seem like that they are taking Israel's side in anything, since we know Israel's a major aggressor and everything. But at the same time, you know, it takes two to tango, you know, whatever. We're not getting into any of that, but that's the big controversy. It's just kind of cool seeing that they're casting one of this more littler known superheroes that would be known to the people who read the old comics. So pretty excited about that, but I don't know, this is the first venture as Sam as Cap, and they did announce that Isaiah will be back in this movie too. So Captain America from, what was he, World War? Or
Yeah.
Korea War. So I don't know. I think it sounds good.
Yeah, I hope they keep a lot of the same themes and tone as the Disney Plus, as the Captain or
Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Falcon
Captain
Winter-
America the Winter
yeah.
Soldier.
Winter Soldier. I hope they keep a lot of the same feeling. There's a lot about that series that I was not a fan of, but the one thing I really did like was where they went with the Captain America character in 2021 or 2022. And so I hope they keep that same thread and keep exploring that idea of what it means to represent America as a Black man, to be Captain America as a Black man, because I think that's an incredibly interesting, and we've never seen that really before. And so there's a lot of cool areas they can go with that, that I think is just never been really approached. And the Captain America series is the perfect series to do that in, because you look at Winter Soldier, you look at several of the other, and Civil War as well. It seems like the Captain America movies are the ones that set the tone for that entire phase. Where is that going to go? And we're going to try something new. We're going to try this. And so I'm really hoping that they continue that with Sam and the New World Order. So I think I'm excited about it. We'll see.
I just want Sad Bucky back.
Is that the one where MODOK's the villain?
Yes.
Okay.
No. MODOK's the villain in Quantumania.
Okay. I couldn't remember which one he was going to be the villain.
No, he's in Quantumania, and if you remember, they showed the weird picture, and he looks really fucked up.
So Kang, they're going to have Kang and MODOK in Quantumania?
I'm hoping we're going to get MODAK also.
Oh, man, that'll be... Oof. I'm more excited.
So, yeah, it depends how they do it. But yeah, no. MODOK was in Quantumania. They haven't announced the villains for New World Order that I'm aware of yet.
Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Wolfpack thing. Yeah.
Oh, what was his name? The guy who had the bricks on him, the real tough one. Scott.
Scott Steiner, Razor Ramon. Who we getting?
Not Big Papa Pump. You know who I'm
Buff
talking about.
Bagwell and Scott Norton.
Norton. That was it. And
Or are you
Buff-
talking about Scott Hall?
No, Norton.
Okay.
It was Scott Norton.
Hall, R.I.P.
He always wore the NWO one with the bricks on it
Yeah.
because he's a
Scott
big
Norton.
dude. Yeah, so we're all in agreement. We want to see this one. All right, Thunderbolts. I know we were kind of what happened here. Apparently, if you put in a code like that has Baron Zemo in the web page, like supposedly a secret video or something pops up of Zemo for Thunderbolts.
Ooh,
That's a travesty if this does not happen.
right.
I guarantee you it will. He has to, because they've already set it up and they already announced him for it at first, but then they did it. I don't get the Red Guardian.
I don't either. It doesn't even fit.
Yeah.
He was never a Thunderbolt.
One of these things is not like the other.
Red Guardian. Because to me, right now, Thunderbolts is feeling like a really, really big. I think you put it this way: Black Widow reunion.
Yeah.
You've got Taskmaster, you've got Red Guardian, you've got Black Widow,
And Madam Hydra.
and Madam Hydra. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I am pumped about. I'm glad Ghost is back. She was a great character.
Oh, go. Yeah.
Tragic character. Like, I'm really happy about that. And they did say Bucky is supposed to be Winter Soldier in this, not Bucky.
Good.
So good.
That's my input. Good.
Good. So I don't know.
Love me some Winter Soldier.
I'm a Thunderbolts fan. You know, we've already seen Matt Gargan, and we know he wore the Venom suit. This could be a way for them to introduce Venom.
That would be cool.
I don't think they will. I think that's a stretch.
I don't think they introduce that unless it's Eddie Brock.
You don't think so?
I think there's too much power behind that name. I think too many people that, like, you know, unless you're like a hard, like, I mean, if you're a nerd, you know, the Gargan was Scorpion.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you're a super nerd, I don't think you know that he was Venom.
That's true too.
So I think that it's got the power alone behind Eddie Brock's name.
Do you think Sony will ever give up the Venom to let Marvel play with it, though, in their universe? Yeah.
The right price, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw how they fought for Tom Holland, though, too.
I mean, he left. Yeah, I mean, there's a piece. I mean, he left behind a piece of the black suit.
Right.
So Tom Holland's going to find it, or it's going to find Tom Holland. So
For that, yeah.
And I mean, that was Secret Wars, and we've seen Titania. She was created by the Beyonder in Secret Wars.
Mhm.
And that's the cosmic phase, so who knows?
I think we're gonna have multiple phases running at the same time when you're talking about
Yeah.
like cosmic, supernatural, the spooky stuff.
Supernatural,
So-
are they going to come in?
Oh,
Okay.
Sisters. Love them.
Come riding in on Falcor, just
With Mephisto on the side.
Festo in tow.
Ryan Gosling or whatever he's supposed to be, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
We'll see. We'll see if that actually happens.
Yeah.
It could be a Notebook reunion.
We can only-
Christine,
we can only-
Ghost Rider. I would be interested to see with Midnight Suns who's going to play Lilith, though.
Mm.
I will be interested in that one. The Marvels.
All of them.
I loved Miss Marvel.
I
I
did
did
too.
too.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that
good.
was such a great show. And we will be nerking that. Like, BRob had a suggestion that we just do a catch up. So we'll probably get this gang together just to do a high overview. Go through all the ones so we can get current again. But I loved
Good-
Miss Marvel.
Good 5-6 hour episode. Yeah.
Yes. We loved Monica
Mm-hmm.
in WandaVision, and she showed her powers. Captain Marvel. My theory is that whenever they use their powers, the reason that they switch places is they switch places. There's some sort of connection, and they're switching places whenever they use powers.
Be like cooler if they announced it. Change places.
Or they start spinning in a circle and then all of a sudden change.
Oh.
Or they do a Wonder Twins power thing.
Yeah. I'm happy for
Form
them.
of.
The Marvels, the movie, The Marvels, because this is actually the, female empowerment that they kind of give a nod to in the game, but it was just like all the women get together and then they run at the same time. Okay, that's all you get. But this is actually all female led superhero movie. And honestly, besides Wonder Woman, I can't really think of another. I guess there was Black Widow, but she was dead at the time that came out. So
That's true.
so I mean, it's like a. So I'm really excited to see where this goes and if it becomes more, again, diverse as far as that. But every single actress that's in this, I think, is amazing, and so it hopefully the writing and the directing matches the level of acting that can be in this, but then also just how important this could be to little girls watching, and all of that, and for those listening, not everything has to be about a diversity and things like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, what other movies, superhero movies or anything like that where you have four strong female characters working together to, I mean, besides maybe what was that heist movie, the Ocean's
13.
or something, I don't know.
Yeah, the female one.
Yeah, so I think that this has
You had
potential.
Ghostbusters, Justin.
Oh, that's right, Ghostbusters, which I actually didn't mind. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. But yeah, I think this is going to be something that's going to be pretty cool to see because we haven't seen it yet in the Marvel universe, and so
As long as they do it right,
yeah, as long as they do it
don't
right.
cheapen it, right?
Well, I think the reason that we're all so excited about female diversity is 3 of us have daughters. So we're excited about that. We want to teach our kids, our daughters, cool, it's all right to like this kind of stuff. You want diversity because it brings more people into the fold. Then you don't have 4 40-year-old men sitting around talking about it for 2 hours. Well, almost a 40-year-old. And then why wouldn't you want more people to talk about this and to have a conversation with? The more people there are, the more likely you're going to get more of what that thing is.
100%.
And that's why I feel like I'm surprised that they haven't pushed X-Men harder, because of the diversity that can be with Jubilee, Storm, Rogue. I mean, and the female empowerment. Oh, I mean, there's so much diversity with
You could do so much with X-Men
that I'm really shocked that they haven't leapt at that sooner.
Well, they're waiting on that.
But
Isn't that
but that's
contract?
also kind of the beauty of it is their big master plan.
Yeah.
And to not try to jump ahead because this is what's hot right now. They're sticking to the plan.
I just hope I'm alive to see the master plan. And I'm being dead serious. Like, this is so slow. Like, we had to, how many years have we had to wait for Fantastic Four?
Well,
I mean, we've had 3 iterations.
Yeah,
that's true. That's
contractual and all that. So, but I mean, like we talked about at the opening of the show, they're releasing like 70 things, and so it feels like it's going slow. But when you consider all the movies, the Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp, you've got the Fantastic Four, you've got Captain America: World Order, Thunderbolts, I mean, that's what, 7, 8 movies,
and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And there's also
we forgot to put that in there.
But yeah, the Christmas special.
And so I remember, growing up, I remember, we got Batman 89 and I thought my mind was going to explode because it was like, oh my God, we have a cool, and then we had to wait, 3 years for another Batman movie. And here we get 7, 8 in the same year. So I think it's
some series and it all ties in.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I didn't mention any of the series, the Disney Plus series, which are going to fill in all of that. And
Yeah.
So yeah, it does seem like it's like, why can't it just get to Mephisto type of thing? But it'll get
with a goat.
It'll get.
And what it's mimicking or turning into is I'm thinking of all this visual media that we're getting, the movies and the TVs, and then you look at the comic side of it and you've got all this stuff that comes out all the time, and it's like different runs of this and this and this, that we're like almost at that, or probably as close as we can get at that stage with the TVs or the TV shows and the movies. Just so much shit coming out all at once that eventually, like, unless you just have dedicated time to watch all of it, Like, you're gonna get behind. And I got behind with the movies, and that was a pain to catch up on. And now, so trying to stay up, like it's gonna be a second job, just watching all my Marvelness. You know, it's just so much stuff. And one fear that I have is that they're going to overdo it.
Yeah.
But too much at once, because we don't want to miss out on anything. We don't want to, we'll watch freaking 9 episodes of a show that we only halfway like just to see an end credit scene at the season finale for something that's going to lead into something we're going to watch in 4 years. Like, we'll do that just for that one little moment. But, there's risk of burnout. Like, you get too much going and you're just going to be left with a very small group of hardcore people. And then, you'll have just people catching this and that wherever instead of watching everything.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine those poor future Marvel fans that are born in 2022, and by the time they get to be 8, 10, whatever, it's like, oh, if you really want to get into this, you have to watch these 63 movies first, and you also have to watch these 14 other Disney Plus shows, and you have to, it's like,
yeah. And the Christmas special.
I'm good. Good.
And the Christmas special.
Yeah.
That's when they just decide, oh, I only like this character. I'm only watching stuff with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you kind of run into the same thing with like you do with the comics.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Last one on our list, which is a Disney property now. Although it's weird because they've had the right at Disney for years. Avatar: The Way of the Water. I'm just not excited about this.
You talk about your wait between your first Batman and your second Batman.
Right.
When did the first Avatar movie come out? How long ago?
I think it was
this?
20 years.
Has it been that long?
I think it's been 20 years.
I think it's been 20 years.
Avatar, 2009. No,
not
it's been
yet.
10. It's been 13 years.
Yeah.
That's still a long time.
That's a long time between movies. I mean, we're getting another Constantine movie coming out pretty soon. They got a long gap there.
I'm excited for it.
I shouldn't have even said anything. Now we're going to be here another 30 minutes.
Let's talk about that.
Well, with that one, though, this with Keanu taking it, this kills the Matt Ryan. Any hope of having Matt Ryan again as Constantine?
Well, but with DC, and we don't have to go into too much, but with DC, they're very much coming out with just the one-off type of, and Matt Ryan has been, Matt Ryan, sorry, that's a different character. What's his name again?
Yeah, thanks, Beer.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's the quarterback. Tell me his name again, Chris.
Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest, yes.
Shit.
Damn,
anyway,
hold on.
the
Ryan Reynolds
from the TV show and all of that, who is awesome. He's the voice in all of the DC animation, and
he is the voice for me.
Very,
it is Matt Ryan. I was right.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Something sounded weird about that. Maybe it's the football in me. That's anyway.
You should check it
You
out.
should probably get that checked out. Yeah.
Yeah, you should check that out.
It's firmly. You weren't guarding my back door, Kyle. So it's in there.
Yeah, I'm a terrible Chinese god. So
I think you can have Keanu as Constantine in this movie, but still have Matt Ryan, the British guy, not the football player, as the Constantine still in the animated and things like that. So I don't think it's a nail in the coffin of the Constantine that we love, but I really liked the first Constantine movie. So we'll see.
I did too. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me.
Oh yeah, same.
That's our review of Avatar.
Yeah,
so go back to Avatar.
That shows how much we all care about Avatar. Yeah.
Back to Avatar. I am excited. The only thing I'm really excited about is just the new landscapes and the new animals that we're going to see, because maybe they're going to upgrade the rides at Disney to match that. I don't know.
The two?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope
those
so.
Those two rides are worth it. That's the only reason. Those two rides are the only reason to go to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, the whole Flight of the Banshee is amazing, and then the river, that's the most advanced animatronic ride that they have.
So I want, before we wrap this up, I want to propose something to you, all of you fellas here on the call, video call, the podcasting and recording, and we kind of did something like this one time before. Who would you like to see play? And so we've got all this new stuff that's coming out. Like a year ago, we were talking about all the stuff that's coming out, and it seems like it's twice or 3 times as much now than the last time we talked about this. I would like to do another who would you like to see play, especially with all the mutant talk coming up now and being more on the forefront. And if you guys would like to get together for that, we can get us a list of confirmed or nearly confirmed or highly rumored characters that do not have an actor or an actress tied to them yet, and just duke it out on who we want to see play that.
I could do that. We know I suck at who would be good at playing them, but I'd be good at who we'd like to see.
Chris just picks Zac Efron for everybody. So
Zac Efron.
mhm.
No problem with that.
No,
It's
the
in
5
the
that I would pick
game.
would be Dylon, and Dylon. Because he spits hot fire. He could play the Human Torch.
Nice.
You're welcome. I'd be down for that one.
Yeah, I thought we'd knock that one out sometime.
I really think for your Nerkies, though, moving on from that, is you do like a 30-minute time limit for each episode, for each series, and that's how you knock it out.
We
Rather
tried that.
Than doing one 4-hour episode trying to cover everything.
Yeah.
You got 30 minutes for Miss Marvel. You got 30 minutes for.
Yeah, have like the timer up in the top so we can like count down so we can stick faithfully to it.
And then when we were still on the first episode, when it's 29 minutes, 30 seconds, then be like, and then something else happened. Then Wanda came in and it was really bad. And then Doctor Strange came in and it's all hot. And then that's the end.
One of the little divers come in with a Nerf gun or a water bottle and squirt you.
I had the Micro Machine Man it like
Ooh.
With like a dog with a newspaper hit me on the nose. It's time for the next one.
no.
Rub our noses in it. No, I'd like that idea. We'll work out the details on that. So thanks for sticking with us. We know it's the long one, but we get really excited when we talk about this again, and it's our show. So
yeah, we do what we want. Worry about your own self.
We don't talk about us.
It's free.
Justin, Dr. Justin, BRob, thank you for giving up your night. We really
Mhm.
appreciate it. You guys are a wealth of knowledge, and you guys are good friends of the show. Thank you so much for always agreeing to do this with us.
Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. With that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And wherever you guys are, have a great evening, morning, night, whatever time it is. And please be good to each other.
Nerd
See ya.
Cork, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd Cork, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made-up word. MCs shied away from.